Jets head coach Terry Simpson, because 0 is the number of goals that Jets have scored in their 2 losses to Pittsburgh and St. Louis. In fact, the Jets have been without a goal for almost 8 periods. 8 is also the Jets' standing in the Western Conference, and if they fall to 9th, that's out of the playoffs. The secret to scoring goals is no secret if you work at it. You also need a timely bounce or 2 around the net. And while the offensive attack has been shut down, Nikolai Habibulin continues to deliver the goaltending that will win games and get the Jets into the playoffs. Tonight, the Jets look to score some goals and end a 3-game losing streak as they host the Vancouver Canucks live on CKND, Winnipeg TV. Molson Jets Hockey on CKND is brought to you by Molson Canadian.
One thing we've tried to stress in the last couple of days of practice is shooting the puck and driving somebody towards the net. We've had a few opportunities in the last 2 hockey games and driving people to the net, but we were just come up short. Obviously, when you don't score in 2 hockey games, it gives something for the people in the press to talk about, and it just magnifies our frustration in losing the hockey games. You know, there's been a lot of things said about our hockey club, especially over the last month, and one thing that we felt that we had was offense, and right now when things aren't going well, there's opportunities missed, and that causes more frustration in the players' minds. But I think what we really have to concentrate on is not passing up opportunities to shoot the puck, because if you don't shoot the puck, it's not going to go in the net.
Scoring goals is the prime objective as the Jets begin a critical 4-game homestand to close out the month of February. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Molson Jets Hockey. I'm Joe Pascucci. 2 challenges facing the Winnipeg Jets, and conquering the first would make the second easier. Obviously, you can't win if you can't score, and the Jets must take advantage of their next 4 games, because in March, 10 of their games will be played on the road. Only 10 points separating the 4th place Maple Leafs and Blues in the Western Conference from the 8th place Winnipeg Jets, and the Jets do have games in hand, but those games in hand are only important if you can win them. With more on tonight's game between the Jets and the Canucks, here's Kurt Kielbach and Ted Irvin.
Thanks, Joe. Hello again, everybody. You know, Ted, you look at those standings, and you know the Jets have got games with Vancouver. They've got games with Calgary and Los Angeles, a 4-game homestand, the final third of the season. It's all got to happen now.
It's got to happen now. It's playoff time, Kurt. Both these hockey clubs got to get ready for the playoffs. Vancouver wants to catch St. Louis and Toronto, and Winnipeg want to stay ahead of Los Angeles. This has the potential to be a heck of a hockey game tonight.
And we're going to have a great guy to watch in Alexander McGillney.
Oh, boy, we got a superstar here tonight, Kurt. You got Alexander McGillney. So far this year, Alexander scored 46 goals. He's got 7 power play goals. He's got 5 game winners, 4 shorthanded goals. And when he scores 2 or more points, the Canucks go 14-3-5. On the other side of the coin, here we got Winnipeg. We've got a superstar, too, that's not playing like a superstar. Alexei Zamnov only has 20 goals. Winnipeg Jets are in a slump. The guy to lead them out of the slump is Zamnov. He's got to get his head into the game. He's got the skills, but he's got to want to play the game a little bit more. Here we'll see the 2 Russians talking Russian, and Zamnov saying they're not paying me enough in Winnipeg. McGillney's saying you're not working hard enough. If you worked harder, they would pay you a lot more money. And I will see Zamnov looks down at the ground, says, you know what, I don't like this conversation. You're starting to sound like John Paddock.
All right, the Jets and their scoring problems. What about the rest of them, aside from Alex? When you can't score, do you squeeze the stick? What happens?
Oh, sure. The certain guys will squeeze the stick like Chris King and Stapleton, but guys like Zamnov and Kachuk, they've got too much ability. They got the pure natural goal-scoring ability. So does Olchek. They just need a break early in the game, but they got to get their head in the game and work hard.
Yeah, it's that initial one that's so hard to come by.
Well, it just rubs off on everybody else on the bench. Once they get one, and you got Kirk McLean going tonight, but once you get that one goal, everybody in the team gets a little confidence. Say, come on, guys, maybe this is a night we'll break out.
So we'll see in just a moment. Stand by for the opening face-off. The Vancouver Canucks and the Winnipeg Jets live on CKND, Winnipeg TV.
Molson Jets Hockey on CKND is brought to you in part by the home of the Big Buy, Jim Coche Chevol's Geo Cadillac.
What are you doing there? today's world of beers, Molson Special Dries in a world of its own.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, it's Mohawk. Don't they re-refine their oil?
Yeah, it's better for the environment.
And their re-refined oil meets or exceeds the North American specifications of every major auto manufacturer in the world.
Sorry.
Mohawk re-refined oil. Good for the environment, good for your car.
There are hundreds of ways to get in shape and hundreds more to stay in shape. You'll find them all at Athletes Wear. For a professional workout at home, the Weider Viper Home Gym can pump you up. This heavy-duty Weider Home Gym provides up to 200 pounds resistance. And right now, you'll save $50. Athletes Wear. Still the right choice.
The choice is there. Athletes Wear.
Winter's here, and it's time to ask yourself, does your battery have the juice to get you started when you really need it? Do your tires have the traction you need for slippery situations? Only Canadian Tire offers MotoMaster batteries and tires to get you going in any situation. All at the everyday low prices you'd expect from Canada's automotive store. Canadian Tire. There's a lot more for your car for a lot less.
Kyver gets it to Shamnov. Shamnov back to the blue line. Carl, he scored! Kachuk in front. Carl had let the shot go. It's 4-1 Winnipeg. That's the last time the Jets scored. The last time we were with you 8 days ago. It looked easy to that point. However, as we've since found out, it has been difficult for the Winnipeg Jets as they have not scored in 2 successive games, including 1-0 and 3-0. The man who tried to extend the Jets' utility streak is Kirk McLean, who could be a little bit rusty. He hasn't played in 19 games. He's been out with injury. The Jets would be wise to test him early and often. And standing opposite a man who's yielded only 3 goals in the last 2 games. Keep in mind the final goal in St. Louis was an empty netter, and it still wasn't good enough. The referee tonight, never a hair out of place, Kerry Fraser, and the linesmen Ron Finn and Andy McKelman. The Winnipeg Jets and the Vancouver Canucks. A couple of clubs really who have seen a lot of each other over the last several seasons. This year it's their 4th meeting. The Canucks have won 2, the Jets 1. And only on 1 occasion, the last time has the home team won. Here's Dave Manson with it now for Winnipeg. Manson's pass goes off the skate of Doan. Kachuk tried it ahead for Doan. Doan one-hands it ahead for Drake. Drake wearing number 11 tonight. Blume dumps it out to center ice. And going back to get it is Tverdovsky. He slides it up the middle to Doan. Doan's pass cut off by Courtnall. Dumped back into the Jet zone. Tverdovsky trying to get out. Can't get by Linden. He's checked by Drake. Drake's pass to Manson. He's got Kachuk wide left. Tries to hit him with a pass. But had he put it in the right place, it would have been offside anyway.
Well, we'll see tonight. Kurt Blair's not playing for the Winnipeg Jets tonight, and the Vancouver Canucks. The Winnipeg Jets have scratched young Chad Kilgore came down with the flu. Randy Gillen's injured. McKenzie on the game suspension, and Turcotte with a hand injury. Vancouver Canucks. Hedican's out. Winnipeg, Mike Wrigley's out. Oksuda, Malcock, the tough young defenseman. Cullimore, Braranek, and the Rocket. Pavel Bury's not playing.
Pavel Bury gone for the season. In fact, the Canucks would rather he didn't take part in the World Cup in the fall. Now Numanen back in his own zone. Cuts in front of the net, looks ahead, gets the pass to Shamnov at center ice. Gains the line, tried it on the left side for Olczyk. That was cut off. Olczyk goes after it in the corner. It's sent back to the point. Here's Finley's shot. McLean grabs and holds.
Well, Kurt McLean's been out for quite a while, so you see the fancy mask he's got going there. So he'll be a little rusty at first, and that's the kind of shot he wants to see early in the game. The Vancouver Canucks know that McLean hasn't played for a while, so they'll really tighten it up a lot. And when they get shots from the point like that, they'll try to keep the front of the net very, very clear. Here we see a shot of Tim Chevrolet. Corey just hasn't played very much. Tim Chevrolet with a hot Happy Bullen.
Here's Finlay, puts it out in front, and McGillney goes back to pick it up. Pass ahead. Here's Ronning at center ice. Drives it into the jet zone. Shamnov has it now. Flipped it ahead. Korolev after it. Now Kucherov back in his own zone for the Canucks. Tried it from McGillney. Stopped by Korolev. Come back in. And play is called.
Well, see, early in the game tonight, Kurt, you know, to get out of a slump, you got to do some things you don't normally do. And Eddie Olczyk in the first shift threw 2 pretty good body checks. And Eddie, the wily old veteran, knows if you play the man, the puck will change hands sometime. So he's trying to get some things going tonight with Zamnov and Korolev. Zamnov, to me, tonight should be pumped to play against his Russian comrade McGillney. I would think Zamnov should come up with a pretty good game tonight.
Fraser is out between Stapleton and King. Dowd with Ojek and Sandlak, the forward line for the Canucks. Fraser stopped at the blue line. Babbage knocked it ahead. Now Muni for Winnipeg. To Fraser, McIver, King. He dumps it in. Fraser gives chase. Babbage gets there first. Wraps it around the boards. Ojek and Muni there. Now Stapleton grabs it. Here's Stapleton coming back with it. Dropped it to King. A shot. That goes wide. Muni after it deep for Winnipeg. Behind the net to Chris King. The captain of the Jets looks in front. Feeds out it from Muni. Shot. Kicked away by McLean. Sandlak can't get by Stapleton. Now Fraser dumps it in. Babbage is back. Puts it over to Ojek. Ojek, rink-wide pass. Here's Jim Sandlak, gains the line, trying to dump it in. McIver got in front of him, and Stapleton leaves it for Muni. 2 minutes, 16 seconds gone in the opening period, a scoreless hockey game. Muni's pass to King, to center ice. It goes to Stapleton, but penalty play has been called right at the center ice area.
As you say, Kurt, Winnipeg Jets, it looks like they've picked up too many men. You see the replay here where Stapleton's back checking, comes up with the puck, just misses a hit, goes in, makes a good pass back to King, who gets a good shot away, misses the net, but that's the back checking. When a guy comes back like Stapleton did, the player in front doesn't know where he's coming from. Stapleton picks up the puck, makes a pretty good play. Good scoring chance for the Jets.
Too many men on the ice is the call against the Winnipeg Jets as the puck was right in front of their bench and they got caught jumping on and leaving. You talk about Mike Stapleton. He's got a tremendous degree of hockey sense, an intelligent hockey player. And there's a frustrated coach, Terry Simpson.
Well, you hate to see too many penalty early in the game. The Jets have to get some momentum. They don't need a power play at this point in time.
Here's Rolline. Puts it ahead. Now Drake cuts it off. Rolline with it again. Rolline on the power play for Vancouver. Gives it to Lume. Back to Rolline. Deaconin is up front with Linden and McGillney on the power play as Rolline moves it in deep. Rolline trying to feed McGillney in front, hit the back of the net. Here's McGillney with it now. His pass stopped by Newman. McGillney back to Linden. To McGillney. McGillney back again to Rolline. Back to McGillney. Linden's in front. It goes Deaconin. They score! Jyrki Lume moved in from the point.
Well, you see on the power play here, Kurt, Vancouver Canucks got some good hockey players on the ice right now. McGillney's out there now. They're moving the puck around. Rolline sees that McGillney's wide open. McGillney comes back down the corner to Tikkanen, who right away throws the puck over to Lume, who had snuck in, but Zamnov has to be aware of that player and tie him up. But watch the quick pass by Tikkanen. He knows that Lume's sneaking in there. Bang, on the stick, right out front. Abby Bullen could have put his stick out, didn't. That's because Tikkanen got rid of the puck so darn quick.
Yes, Tikkanen, we watched him at the skate this morning. Actually surprised to see him play. That leg is giving him a lot of problems. But a great pass to set up the first goal of the game. Here's Eastwood. Gains the line, dumps it in. After it is Darren Shannon. Bumped by a coin. Eastwood trying to take it out of the corner. 1-0 the Canucks lead. Eastwood working with it. Walker stays with him. Eastwood gets it to Chassé. His shot. Darren Shannon after it in the corner. Gets it back now for Chassé. Into the corner, Eastwood. Eastwood for Muni. Muni behind the net. Here's Shannon. Shannon looks in front. Feeds it back. Muni to McIver. His shot knocked down. Shannon on the loose puck trying to jam it home. McLean cut it off, and now Hunter can't get it out. Good pressure by the Jets. McIver, rink wide, nobody home. Walker puts it to center. Muni stops it there. He puts it right back in. Shannon with it for Winnipeg. In behind the net. Trying to dig it out is Doan. He can't. And now Courtnall. Stationary in the neutral zone. Stopped there by Drake. It goes to Manson. To Tverdovsky. To Tkachuk. Tkachuk gains the line. Fakes it. Tries it for Drake. He was stripped of the puck by Courtnall. Courtnall with Jelena. Get across the line. Trying to find Linden. Puts it into Jelena behind the Jet goal.
Hey, Marty!
Jelena stops. Here's Courtnall with it. Slides it in front. Tverdovsky. For Doan. Stopped there by Courtnall. Linden and Doan. Doan comes up with it. Puts it on the line. Merzen sends it into Jet territory. Ababulin comes out with Courtnall hovering the air. Here's Manson in the corner. Courtnall and Manson. Jammed off. It goes in front of the goal. And with it again is the rookie Doan. Ahead to Jamnov. And it's offside as countryman Overdovsky was too quick on the right side.
What are you doing there?
In today's world of beers, Molson Special Dries in a world all its own.
Son, you know why McDonald's calls this the Hockey Hero Burger?
No, Dad, why?
3 all-beef patties, 3 periods of hockey.
Yeah.
Monterey Jack and cheddar processed cheeses, home team visitors. Tomato, face-off circle, home-style bun, arena where it all takes place.
And the sauce, that's the ice surface, right, Dad?
Nope. Sauce adds flavor, son. Works nicely with the lettuce.
The Hockey Hero Burger for a limited time.
Have you had your break today?
Well, Kurt, Joe had said 4 games in hand for Winnipeg Jets, but if you don't win them, they don't mean anything. And sometimes games in hand, players take it a little easier, think they've got it made. Jets have got to win those games in hand.
It's 1-0 Vancouver. 5 minutes gone. Here's Korolev. Turns it around. Couldn't get anything on it. Gets another chance. He shot one on Volchek into the corner. McLean gives it to Lumek. For McGillney. Newman and pinches in. It's poked by him. Here's Ronning. Ronning against Finlay. Finlay stays with him. Ronning for Tikkanen. For McGillney. Picked up by Olchek. Gets it a hit for Korolev. Korolev gallops by Ronning. Works in deep down into the corner. Lume bumps him. Korolev perseveres in behind the goal. Now he's hit by Merzen. McGillney. Around for Tikkanen. Tikkanen's pass. Rink wide. McGillney against Newman. You'll see a lot of that tonight. McGillney shot. And Ababulin made the save. He gets it away so quickly.
Well, McGillney, as you say, gets it away so quick here. But the beauty of this, Pat, Tikkanen gets it over McGillney, who's a left-hand shot playing the right side. And watch the cute move. He comes back inside on a defenseman. Wrist shot. Ababulin stands his ground. McGillney's not nowhere to go, but McGillney has so much speed playing his off wing. He's got so many moves he can choose from. He cut right back to the front of the net. So it's up to Ababulin to stay on his feet and follow McGillney at all times.
Now it is out with Ojik and Sandlak up front for the Vancouver Canucks. Fraser is out with King and Stapleton. Here's Rawlene shot. Easy one for Ababulin, who then grabbed it.
Ababulin's played very well lately. He's been the key to the Jets. You know, they always wanted this winning goaltender. He's playing very well for him, works very hard. Winnipeg Jets, every minute this goes on, if they don't score a goal, the doubt starts setting into themselves again. They've got to get more shots. At this point in time, 3 shots, 2 shots, that's not enough for this style of game. They have to shoot the puck more. So they're very low in their self-confidence right now. I mean, look at Keith Tkachuk there. He's like in a daze there. Great shot.
Here's McIver with it for Winnipeg. Gets it over to Stapleton. Tried it back from McIver. Relayed to Fraser. Dumped into the Vancouver zone. Rawlene goes after it behind the net. Rawlene met by Fraser and King. Here's McIver's shot. Fraser at the side of the goal. And there's going to be a penalty to the Vancouver Canucks. Ojek and King are going to have a go. Gino Ojek and Chris King. They went at it the last time the clubs played here. Ojek flailing wildly. King appears more in control. Ojek doing his Rob Ray impression now without the shirt.
This is dangerous for Chris King here because with Ojek having no shirt on, King has nothing to grab onto. So I know Chris King wants to pin him and get those linesmen in there. That all started. Chris King took a real good body check, threw it at Rolene. Ojek didn't like it, but that should be a game from Ojek. Chris King keeps his head up, good body check, nothing wrong with that at all. It's just that Ojek doesn't want to give the Winnipeg Jets any momentum, so he goes right after Chris King. He comes right back, knocks him down. He's got 2 minutes there. This is where he'll get the game. He's instigating. Chris King knows there's a penalty. Chris King, I'll tell you, he'll go with anybody in the league. But when Ojek doesn't have his sweater tied down. That's a thing that players will do, so he'll lose his sweater very quickly, so he get his arms loose. Once he loses his T-shirt, now Chris has nothing to grab onto. Very dangerous in that situation. Good thing the linesman got in there.
We want to make it perfectly clear. You'll find guaranteed low prices at your Canadian Tire store every day. If you find a better price anywhere, we'll match it. Guaranteed.
Well, Rick Lee, we saw him on the bench there. He won't mind that type of thing. He doesn't like to lose Ojek, but he doesn't want the Winnipeg Jets thinking they can start running their players. So guys like Ojek are out there to take charge of the game, and that's what he tried to do.
Well, we won't see any more of Gino tonight. 2 minutes for charging, 2 minutes for instigating, which brings an automatic game misconduct, and of course 5 minutes for fighting. Chris King draws a fighting major, so the Jets get a 4-minute man advantage. The Jets are without their designated tough guy tonight too, Jim McKenzie, who's sitting on a 1-game suspension. Now Ojek's out of the game. So the Jet power play will have an opportunity to snap this long drought.
You see the Winnipeg special teams here right now, the power play. Winnipeg Jets are ranked 8th right now, but they were 4 just within the last couple of weeks. They haven't scored the power play in a long time. Vancouver penalty killing is ranked 13th, but watch out for guys like McGillney and Courtnall. They've got great speed, and they'll try to break it open, try to see if they can score.
Kachuk is out at center. Olchek and Shamnov, McIver and Tverdovsky the power play. Kachuk didn't practice yesterday, didn't skate this morning. He's got the flu. Kachuk against Linden. It goes to Shamnov, back to McIver, over to Tverdovsky. Behind the net, Kachuk. Shamnov looks over at McIver. Shamnov holds on, lets it go, rebound. McLean a save, and they dump it out. 3 minutes and 40 seconds left in that double minor to the Canucks. Canucks lead at 1-0. Oleg Tverdovsky at center ice to Olchek. Off him in deep. McLean out. And he clears it. Kirk McLean, one of the best puck-handling goaltenders in the league. Now McIver drives it in. McLean out of the goal. This time he can't clear it, but he gets some help from Lume, who does. 3 minutes left in a double minor. Tverdovsky will try it again. Finds Kachuk. Kachuk is checked from behind. And a cat calls toward the Jet power play have already begun. Here's Tverdovsky. New minute. Kachuk. Dumped it in. Stapleton gives chase. Babbage is there. Stapleton frees it for Kachuk. Gets it back himself. Gives to Newman. Newman to Stapleton. Kachuk is stationed in front. Stapleton. Manson shot. Rebound. 2 saves by McLean. Here's Kachuk in the corner.
Back it goes. Manson fakes it. Now lets it go. Easy for McLean. Rebound. Here's Newman and can't get a shot away. Back now for Stapleton. Stapleton maintains possession. Puts it into Korolev and Kucherov. Stapleton trying to free himself of Dowd. Looks in front. Feeds Kachuk back to Newman. He lets it go and it's wide. Manson can't contain it. And the first of the double minor is over. 2 minutes left. Here's Newman. Pops it in. McLean leaves it there. Poked around. Korolev missed it. Wide open spaces. Going with it now, McGillney. McGillney pass across. And unable to contain the pass was Walker. Here's Manson. A minute 37 left. In the man advantage for Winnipeg. Doan's pass for Olczyk is picked off by Walker. Now with it, McIver. McIver back to Tverdovsky. Moves in, avoids a hit from Merson, dumps into the corner. Lume off the glass. Jamnov manages to hold it in. Now gets it to Olczyk. He's shot, deflected wide by Jamnov. Here's Doan. Back to the point, McIver. Over Tverdovsky. To Jamnov. Jamnov slips a check to Tverdovsky. Shot wide. Now McIver. Into the corner, Olczyk. Tried it for Doan, couldn't get it through. And the Canucks lug it out. 49 seconds left in that penalty to Vancouver. 1-0, the Canucks lead. Here's Tverdovsky. McIver into the middle, Stapleton. Right side, Jamnov. Jamnov trying to set things up. Tverdovsky. McIver. Stapleton. Kachuk's in front. Stapleton surrounded by Canucks. Puts it in for Kachuk. Back to Stapleton. Back to the point, McIver. Gives to Stapleton. Heisler lets it. He scores!
Kurt, we'll see the shot here, but there's going to be a complaint here. I think they're going to go for a ruling on this. They're saying that Kachuk is in the crease there, and the referees, I guess, are going to call it now. But Stapleton gets a shot on net, goes right to the net, but Kachuk's doing the job in front like he should. Stand there, Kachuk lets it go. McLean can't see it at all. We'll complain about Kachuk, but it doesn't look like it's going to make any difference. They're going to count the goal.
Well, Lee Fraulein was pushing at Kachuk in the crease. So it's a 1-1 hockey game. The goal by Keith Kachuk. He's the last Jet. Or pardon me, the Kachuk was the last Jet who scored. I think that went right through. Mike Stapleton let that shot go from the high slot to tie it up, a power play goal. 6th of the year for Stapleton.
Here we'll see Stapleton. Shakes off a check from Linden, just wrists it. He knows Kachuk's in front. You had 2 players screening McLean, basically, and Kachuk, and he puts it in the top corner. McLean was playing pretty well up to that point there, but a key goal for Winnipeg Jets. They finally break their slump.
Here's Cordall after it quickly, poked away by Manson. Now behind the net, Kachuk gets it up the right side to Doan. Doan gets to center with Tverdovsky to his right. Tverdovsky moves in to Kachuk. Can't get it away. Kachuk goes to the corner. Feeds Doan. Doan tried it for Drake, and it's taken away by the Canucks. 1-1 the score. Russ Courtnall. Left side pass. Here's Gillin. A shot. Rebound out in front. And it goes all the way back to center ice. Just past the midway mark of the opening period. Courtnall is offside. 1-1 midway through the first on CKND.
I am the picture of health. I'm low-cal and high-fiber. I'm homogenized and pasteurized. I'm fat-free. So how come I still feel like...
On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers.
First time I'm playing Sports Select, right? 2 games, no problem. 1 more, I win. We're up 1 goal. Seconds left. And then, breakaway. He shoots! What a shot! And I'm thinking, oh no, don't blow it. I've come this far. Don't blow it now. And then...
Go ahead. Then what happened?
Well, he plucked it right out of the air. I won. My first crack at it.
Well, with our score and win contest, Ray Kenyon of Winnipeg qualified by attaching a proof of purchase from Old Dutch Twin Pack chips to a ballot provided by Safeway. As a result, let go by Mike Stapleton. Ray has won a set of Dirt Nibble vacuums from Royal Appliance. 1-1 the score. Here's Shamnov. Knocked it out to center ice. Ronning with it there. Puts it ahead. Finley grabs it for Winnipeg. Drives it in deep. Now Raleigh over skates. Korolev couldn't quite get there in time. And Ronning with it now. Here come the Canucks. Raleigh moves it out to center ice. Gains the jet line. Working against Olczyk. Throws it in front. It goes off Newman and wide. Ronning behind the net. Here's Raleigh centers. Now Raleigh goes after it. Finley stays with him. Shamnov can't get loose. It goes to Ronning. Now to McGillney. To Tikkanen. The save, I believe, by Hababulin. Quick pass, McGillney to Tikkanen. And Hababulin got back quickly. Here's Raleigh. Puts it ahead, Newman, and grabs it. Right side, Olczyk with Korolev. Olczyk shot. Big rebound. And it's knocked away by Kuchera to Tikkanen. Tikkanen's pass, that goes all the way down the ice. McIver and McGillney. McGillney trying to drag it out. Jamnov swats at it. O'Coin keeps it in, and Jamnov gets another try. This time hands to Stapleton, but there's going to be a penalty to the Winnipeg Jets for elbowing.
Not surprisingly, wheat farmers prefer the Puma on the left. Puma plus your favorite broadleaf herbicide. For your worst weeds, all you have to do is unleash it.
Have you heard the news? Everybody's talking about Crazy for You, the all-singing, all-dancing, all-Gershwin musical comedy you'd be crazy to miss. It's got romance, dancing, timeless Gershwin hits, and plenty of laughs. Winner of the 1992 Tony Awards for Best Musical, Best Choreography, and Best Costumes. You're guaranteed to go crazy for Crazy for You.
March 19th through 21st at the Walker Theater. For tickets, call 780-3333.
Now, we're talking about the beauty of watching guys like Alexander McGillney throw the puck around. Watch how he gets the Winnipeg Jets looking at him, mesmerized, and he passes over to Tikkanen. Habibulin knew it was coming there, but there was nobody in front of the net. But McGillney set that up all by himself. He saw Tikkanen going. He kind of put the Jets to sleep a little bit and threw it across to Tikkanen.
So the Vancouver Canucks 1-for-1 in the power play, and they'll get the opportunity again as Alexei Shamnov goes off for elbowing. Canucks have Linden, Tikkanen, and McGillney up front. Raleigh and Lume at the points. Stapleton and King for Winnipeg with Finley and Newman. Pass picked off by King. King moves in, kills some time, dumps it in deep, and Lume has it now. Lume approached by Stapleton, puts it in behind the goal, and here comes Esa Tikkanen. To center, right side is Linden cutting at the goal. Big save by Habibulin. Lume back down for Linden. The captain of the Canucks looks in front of McGillney, gives to Lume. Back to Linden, back to Lume. Lets it go, kicked away. Linden with it. McGillney moves in front. Here's the pass, McGillney shot. Well, the Canucks will get it to McGillney as often as they can. He'll shoot as often as he can, and Habibulin will have to be brilliant as often as he can.
And he is brilliant, Kurt. Habibulin is keeping the Winnipeg Jets in this game as he has in the past. Nice pass by Tikkanen to Linden. Linden goes by. He's looking to go through the legs. He knows the hole is there, but Habibulin stays with the play all around. Habibulin knows he's going to cut across. Linden goes to his backhand, but Habibulin stands his ground. You know, even Linden would have gone a little bit further. I think Habibulin would have had him, played him very well on that breakaway.
1:21 left in the man advantage for Vancouver. Linden into the face-off circle against Ian Fraser. Linden wins it cleanly to Lume. To Raleigh, nobody in front. Raleigh gives it to McGillney. Now Linden goes to the side of the net. Tikkanen in the corner. To McGillney. To the blue line, Raleigh to McGillney. Linden is stationed in front. Here's Tikkanen. McGillney. McGillney takes his time. Back down for Tikkanen. Tikkanen tried to feed it in front. Knocked away by Manson. Fraser trying to clear. And he did. To center ice. Lume takes it back. 48 seconds left in the penalty to Shamnov. 1-1 the score in the first period. Linden gains the jet line. Linden puts it out in for Lume. Shot, rebound. And then at the side of the goal. Here's Linden with it. Linden's pass right out of the stick of Fraser. And he dumps it all the way down the ice. 30 seconds left in Shamnov's penalty. Tikkanen. Pass for Babbage. Stapleton cut him off. Slides it up the middle. Tikkanen there for Ronnie. Approached by Manson. Pass across. Moving in is Shelena. Centers. Manson intercepts. Manson behind the goal. Shelena checked by Finley. Finley checked by Courtnall out front. King failed on a clearing effort, but Stapleton was there to bail him out. Shamnov steps out of the penalty box. Puck in the center ice area. Shamnov puts it in. Babbage clears it out. Jelena gains the jet line back to Courtnall. Trying to swing in front. 4 Jets were there, including Stapleton, who feeds King. It goes to Kachuk. Kachuk, now King, cutting at the net. Here's King, shot. Skate, save by McLean as King cut right through the crease. Running. Gets it into the middle. Jelena against Muni. Jelena shot. And the bullet counters it up. Good opportunities at both ends of the ice.
Chris King off to a good start tonight. He's already had a fight with Oljek. He gets out in this play. He's a little long in the shift, but he gets the puck. He clears it out here. Now here you'll see King makes the play. Kachuk makes a good hand pass, knocks it down, goes in. Now watch just hard work. Hard work. He goes to the net, and McLean has to do the big splits to make the save on King. Here he comes. He knows he's going to get here. He goes to the net. Sometimes you wish you could transplant hearts like Chris King into the superstars, because he sure gives it everything you've got.
Both clubs at full strength. 5:41 left in the first. By the way, the Jets did not establish a new futility record. They came within about a minute. The longest scoring drought was back in 82-83. Tough trivia question here, but we'll bounce it at you. Who scored the goal that snapped them out of it in 82-83? Big clue. He won the Calder Trophy that year. Here's Muni. Gets it ahead now to Shannon. Shannon knocks it ahead. Eastwood goes after it. Eastwood looks for Chassé. The save on McLean, and then it hit the post. Now the puck goes all the way down the ice. Muni back for it. Muni's pass goes to Eastwood. Around now to McIver. Bit to it. Here's Sandlack shot. Shannon for Winnipeg. Gets it ahead to Eastwood. Pass to center. Here's Chassé. Moving in, trying to cut out the net. And Kuchera made him pay. Eastwood down in the corner with Dowd. Eastwood swings free. Eastwood's good along the boards. Throws it out in front. And the puck is taken away by Stoyanov. Oh, is he nailed by Chassé. And big Stoyanov is still down. Open ice hit by Chassé.
Retirement's good.
Dad's beating me bad.
Planning my RSP made life easy.
And he makes it look so easy.
Sure glad I had expert advice.
Dad, I need your advice.
Laurentian Bank, son.
Huh?
For 150 years, you've put your trust in us to help you reach your financial goals. And for that, we'd like to say thank you.
Hi, I'm Gerald Wilcox. As you may know, I play a little football here in Manitoba. I've realized to be the best at what you do, to be a true professional and winner, requires a lot of hard work and dedication. And a real competitive attitude sure doesn't hurt. You know who's got it, don't you?
You got it, Park Pontiac.
The difference is, you got it, the people at Park Pontiac.
Wow, we just saw a body check at center ice, Kurt, thrown by young Chassé, the guy that the Winnipeg Jets have just picked up from Washington. Look at this. He comes across center ice. Oh, my goodness. You shouldn't be sticking on center ice like that with your head down. Chassé, beautiful body check. He's worked hard tonight. He's had a good shift with Eastwood out there. They played well in the first shift. Now here's Eastwood. Comes around, goes to the backhand. But look at Chassé, as the coaching staff has said, go to the net, something may happen. He gets a backhand off McLean's pad, off the post. But young Chassé's had a pretty good period so far.
Well, you know that, well, first off, we'll remind you that in the first intermission, Joe Pascucci will be joined by one of the newer Jets, veteran NHLer Craig Muni. We'll also have the feature between periods, and we'll hear from the MTS scoreboard. And by the way, I imagine there's a very good chance that that'll be the crunch of the game tonight for Vernos Auto Body. Stand by on the post-game show. The crunch of the game brought to you by Vernos Auto Body, 160 Higgins Avenue in Winnipeg. It'll take some kind of hit to outdo that one.
Well, one of the other players Winnipeg Jets have brought in, Craig Muni. Remember all the years Craig Muni, when he played with Edmonton, he upset a lot of hockey clubs with those low hits of his. Everybody accused him of going for the knees. And he's one of those guys I kind of like on a hockey club that gets your teammates into trouble on the ice. Like, he's going to cause some problems. Your teammates have to react to him. And I hope he brings that type of spirit to the Winnipeg Jets to get them more involved in the ice for each other.
Puck goes back into the Vancouver zone. Lume gives chase. 4 minutes and 40 seconds left in a tied first period. Here's King. Walker had to duck that puck. Now it goes to Muni at center. Muni puts it into the middle. Here's Fraser. He lets it go. Blocked by Lume. Stapleton. Behind the net, Merzen. Gives to Lume. Lume's pass. Here's Muni. He scores!
Just talking about, Stapleton throws it behind the net. Jets pick it up. It comes around towards King. Here's a bad clearing pass. Gets knocked down in front. Muni stayed in. Good shot. Right hand side. He caught Kurt McLean. McLean's thinking this puck is going to be cleared. And it's bouncing a little bit. Muni leans into it. But there's the veteran. Instead of clearing the zone, Muni stayed inside the blue line and picked up that pass.
An unassisted goal by Craig Muni. It's 2-1 Winnipeg. Finlay flips it high. Back to get it is Babbage. Babbage approached by Korolev. Trying to clear. Stopped by Shamnov. Olchek. Olchek finds some room. Spins. Lets it go. Blocked by Running. Korolev busts in after it. Babbage is there. Now Running. Around for Tikkanen. Stopped by Finlay. In it goes Olchek. Behind the net. Babbage. Puts it off the boards. It goes by Numanen, and back to get it is Korolev. Olchek dumped it in. McGillney goes back. 2-1. The Jets lead. 3.5 left in the opening period. Running spins. Trying to get by Olchek. He can't lose. Puck. Babbage misses it. It goes back. Here's Tverdovsky into the corner. Tverdovsky gets it back again. He throws it in front. It goes to the corner with it, Korolev. And it's not free. And all the way down the ice. Back to get it. The fleet, Oleg Tverdovsky. Slides it up the middle. That goes all the way down. McLean out of the goal. Leans it there for Kuchera. Doan rides him out of the play. Now Tkachuk finds some room. Puts it on. Drake can't get a shot away. And it's taken by Kuchera. Tkachuk went after him, and Kuchera managed to avoid the collision. Tverdovsky runs into Shelina. And this is a typical Vancouver-Winnipeg game. And you know what? Friday night we'll get a typical Chicago-Winnipeg game, so there'll be rough goes back-to-back. Kim
Kalawati of Beausejour shopped at Safeway, purchased Mott's Clamato, and entered Score and Win. So congratulations, Kim. Craig Muni has won you a GE Spacemaker 2 microwave oven.
I see Tverdovsky comes in there and makes a hit. Vancouver's getting a little frustrated. The Winnipeg Jets basically are playing the body very well. Vancouver doesn't like that with Winnipeg. They think that they can skate with them. And Winnipeg always plays a physical game. And standing up to Vancouver tonight, Vancouver's starting to rally together a little bit.
Tverdovsky goes back into his own zone to pick it up. 2.5 left in the first. 2-1 the Jets lead. Lume takes it from Korolev. Stopped by Tverdovsky. Lume gets another try. It's entering wide in the Jet zone. Jelena and Shamnov. It goes free to Courtnall to Lume. Lume has to hammer it back in. And going for it is Manson. Looks ahead. Pass off Korolev. Goes the distance. Merzen back. Clearing effort. Stopped by Korolev. Poked in front. Lume. Ahead for Courtnall. Left side, nobody can pick it up. Tverdovsky to Shamnov. Shamnov's pass. Here's Korolev. Shot, but playing the save. And there's going to be a hooking penalty against the Vancouver Canucks.
Let's see a quick pass by Tverdovsky. Watch how quick Zamenhof is. Goes around his man, gets some speed going. He's tugged down from behind. But Zamenhof can do so many things with the puck. Watch how quick he can move in close. Watch this. Over to the right, back in. Trevor Linden a little lazy on his back checking. Tugs down Zamenhof.
The goal by Craig Muni was his first of the year. Came unassisted. Jets do have a power play goal. The one by Mike Stapleton. Olczyk comes out with Shamnov and Tkachuk, McIver and Numminen. Jets are back in action Friday night. If you can make it down here, great. Lots of tickets for a 7:30 start. If not, please join us here on CKND. Lume behind the goal. Gets it to the blue line. Stopped by Numminen. He pokes it in. Now Lume dumps it away. And going back forward is McIver. McIver's pass to Numminen. To center ice. Gains the line. Gives to Tkachuk. Tkachuk down deep. Back to McIver. Behind to Tkachuk. Puts it out in front. And Lume lets it away. Drives a long one. Back with it is McIver. 1:20 left in the penalty to Trevor Linden. 1:08 left in the opening period. The Jets 2, the Canucks 1. Shamnov for Manson. Gains the line, pumps it in. Tkachuk puts it behind. Babbage couldn't get it. Shamnov leaves it, and it's clear to center ice. McIver with Jelena in pursuit. Takes it behind, gives to Stapleton. Who gives to McIver. Back to Stapleton. To Manson. To Stapleton. Through the middle. To Shamnov. To Stapleton by him. And just wide of the net. In behind the goal. Shamnov drags it out in front. Hits in front of the goal. And it's cleared by Jelena. Not out Manson. Now it's taken out. Jelena ahead to McGillney. One man back. McGillney's shot is wide. Jelena. 18 seconds in the period. Jets still with a man advantage. Stapleton to the middle. Tkachuk makes a good effort to get it to Tverdovsky. Tverdovsky goes through a check. And then Courtnall comes up with it. Sends it ahead, Manson, and then runs out. An entertaining first period at the Winnipeg Arena.
Well, Winnipeg Jets leading what they want to do right now. And Nikolai Havi-Bolin playing very well again. He keeps the Winnipeg Jets in this game early. Winnipeg Jets get some confidence.
Well, it was 2 years the last time Craig Muni scored a goal. No doubt he'll be full of wit and wisdom about that one when he speaks with Joe Pascucci. 2-1, the Jets lead after one.
Not just any drain opener can bust through a tough clog like this. You need one with maximum power. New Drano Max. It's the thickest, with 35% more power than even Pro Strength liquids. A maximum breakthrough against your toughest clogs. Get new Drano Max and go with the flow. S.C. Johnson Wax.
Manitobans continue to invest in the Crocus Fund because it protects jobs and strengthens the Manitoba economy. Even as you watch your investment grow, you save on taxes now. Say you invest $1,000. You receive your normal RSP deduction, but more than that, you also receive a 20% provincial tax credit and a 20% federal tax credit. An $800 savings on every $1,000 investment. The Crocus Investment Fund, your best working investment in Manitoba.
What's new in the cheese world?
Feta cheese is big, Dave.
Anything else?
Try the pepper jack.
Wow, this would spice up a bacon cheeseburger. Give me 1,000 pounds, sliced.
Okay.
And spice it up he did. It's Wendy's new Pepper Jack Bacon Cheeseburger. A quarter pound of fresh ground beef, spicy Pepper Jack cheese, 3 strips of bacon, and the perfect sauce.
Great cheeseburger, Dave.
Sure beats feta.
Sure beats feta.
I just said that.
Come try Wendy's new Pepper Jack Bacon Cheeseburger today.
It doesn't take a thief long to steal a car. Police reports show that on average, 1 car is stolen every 20 seconds. It's time to get serious about crime prevention. It's time for the Club. The Club is a state-of-the-art tempered steel locking device that's tough to defeat. Once attached to your vehicle, thieves see it and move on, leaving your car or truck right where you parked it. Accept no cheap imitations. Make sure your anti-theft device says the Club on the handle. Never park your car without it.
Well, the Jets did what they wanted to do in that first period, and that was to score and get the lead, and they have a 2-1 on the Vancouver Canucks. Here is the go-ahead goal scored by Craig Muni, the newest Jets defenseman. And Craig, describe it.
Well, Lume kind of threw it in the middle with the guy trying to go up the middle, and I just tried to step in front of it, knock it down, and shoot it as a fit.
Quick release?
Yeah, just want to surprise him. Don't let him set up, or else he could make a good save.
You've had a big smile on your face for the rest of the period. Are you still thinking about the goal?
Oh, that's behind me now. That's not my job. Now it's to keep it out of the net, let the other guys do their turn.
When you came to the Jets, one of the reasons the Jets went after you was your veteran experience, kind of settled down some of the younger players on this team, and you've certainly done that.
Well, that's what they told me when I first got here. They want me to lead by example out in the ice and in the dressing room to get the guys going, and the young guys help them out as much as I could.
Ted Orden was saying in that first period that you're the type of player that gets your teammates into trouble because you like to play it physical, and that means that they have to get physical.
Well, it's a team game. Everyone's going to do their share of hitting, just like Denny got a good hit there in the first period. It gets everybody going, so to win games, it takes little things, and whatever it takes to get the team going is what we have to do.
And scoring in that first period was very important for this team because I guess you were squeezing the stick trying to score a goal.
Yeah, we haven't had any luck the last couple of games, so yesterday in practice, we've practiced a lot of shots and drive them to the net, and we want to put everything on net and make sure we're going for rebounds tonight.
Well, congratulations on the goal, Craig. You're only 48 behind Mario Lemieux, so go get him.
I think it's safe.
All right, Craig Muni, who scored his first goal of the season, his first goal since 93-94. He's been our guest. Coming up next, we'll meet another of the newest Jets, Oleg Tverdovsky. As we go between periods, the Jets lead the Canucks by 1.
In 1896, shot put became part of the Olympic Games. In 1964, it was volleyball.
47.
Now in 1996,
Bingo!
Coca-Cola's Big Bottle Bingo is so exciting, it almost feels like an Olympic event. But you can play and win gold prizes valued up to $100,000 for a Coca-Cola trip to the Olympic Games.
Tell me, when did you know you had won?
Well, I knew I had it when I got G47.
Big Bottle Bingo. Let the game begin.
Maestro Bramwell Tovey presents the riches of British musical tradition. The WSO offers 2 more British imports of sterling quality in the Jaguar Symphony Sweepstakes. Choose from 3 fabulous grand prizes: music in motion, the new Jaguar XJS convertible, the new Jaguar XJ6 sedan, or $60,000 cash. 325 prizes with a total value at over $124,000. The first early bird draw is February 24th. Enter the Jaguar Symphony Sweepstakes.
It's back, Robin's Donuts Cup of Value Sweepstakes, where you have a chance to win one of over 400,000 fabulous prizes. From fresh hot coffee to exotic getaways for two. The Cup of Value Sweepstakes at Robin's.
Play Safeway Score and Win. When the Jets score on CK&D, you could win a set of quality appliances from Tefal, a 20-piece set of Mikasa Fine China in the Currents pattern, a Gold Star Star Touch 2 VCR, or a Texas Instruments personal organizer. You could also win a trip or two to Mazatlan, Mexico, courtesy of Canadian Holidays, Canada's largest vacation company. Safeway's participating products, Kraft mozzarella and Cracker Barrel cheeses, also Ragu spaghetti sauces. Score and win at Safeway, today's better way.
I apologize for whatever's about to happen.
There's no need to apologize.
Are you?
Life is always a three-ring circus for Caroline in the City. Thursday at 8:30 on CK&D.
Promotional consideration provided by...
Start your day with Delco's new Freedom 84 battery. It guarantees you 7 years of worry-free starts.
Well, you have to be a special player if you're traded for Teemu Selanne, and the Winnipeg Jets obviously feel that Oleg Tverdovsky is a special player. An offensive-minded defenseman. We saw in that first period that he also likes to play the body.
Well, Oleg's a very talented hockey player, you know. Of course, you always have to shake yourself and remind yourself that he's only 19 years old. He's got the ability to skate and move the puck. I guess experience will probably be a major factor for him, and at times that certain situations that he reacts that maybe you'd like to see him maybe be a little more precautionary at, but I think he brings an element that we drastically need on our blue line.
Here the coaches and management staff really happy to have me here, and really happy to be here because we didn't a lot of ice time, and I think I started to play a little bit better and feel a little bit more confidence. And you know, the coaches talk to me all the time, so what's wrong, what's right, what they want from me. Not like there. Ron Wilson, I mean, for a week they have been here, the Terry Simpson talked to me more than the Ron Wilson for 2 years.
Well, he's a big, strong guy that he can really skate. If you really watch him, he can really fly. If he gets caught, he has the ability to get back and chip pucks away, and he's a big, strong kid that can really shoot the puck. But, you know, again, his youth is one thing that's probably holding him back. He's got to learn when to pick his spots and come late on rushes and when to shoot the puck.
They allow me to play my game, and, you know, when you're afraid to make a mistake, you always do mistake. And here, I mean, I didn't really think about it, so, you know, I'm going to rush, and I don't think that I will make a mistake, so you don't. I mean, it's a part of the game. You got to feel confident.
Coach, what do you think? Son, it's not what you look like or how big you are. It's what you got deep down inside. You can't see it. It's hidden. But believe me, it's there. I made the team. No, not a chance. I was talking about this pizza.
Introducing Pizza Hut Canada's new triple-decker pizza. Hidden inside two thin crusts is a 6-cheese blend for a huge cheese taste.
You know, son, I do need another guard. Night, kid.
Well, it's fun for the money, 2 for the dough, 3 to get ready, now go, scratch, go!
If this feels like your lucky day, then play Scratch and Win lottery games. Great fun for just $1 or $2 and the chance to win cash instantly. Play here, there, anywhere, just for the fun of it.
Well, it's fun for the money, now go, scratch, go!
Scratch and Win lottery, fun for the money.
Don't you hate shopping for a new car? It can be excruciating. Even when you finally find a car you love, you wind up battling over the stuff you really want. Airbag, anti-lock brakes, air conditioning. I hate confrontation. That's why I love General Motors value pricing. Everything is already included for one low sticker price. No battles, no hassles. It's the way it ought to be.
Johnson. Score! Chris King rips one past Bridger. Second shot. Big score. Trevor Linden. Back. First shot. Yep. Here's a chance for Dono.
And Ted.
Okay, thanks again, Joe. You know, it was an interesting first period. We talked so much about the Jets having not scored in a long time, and a lot of the worker bees came through and kind of made things happen, I thought.
Well, they sure did, Kurt. When you go into a slump like the Winnipeg Jets are in right now, it just takes hard work, and we found guys like Stapleton worked hard, King worked hard, Eddie Olczyk threw some body checks, even a guy like Zamnoff, you know, he's just got to keep on working hard. He's getting his nose dirty a little bit tonight. He's got an elbowing penalty. It just takes hard work to get out of a slump.
And, of course, outstanding net minding, particularly in the Jets end from Nikolai Habibulin.
Well, Habibulin's so important early in the game for Winnipeg Jets. Winnipeg Jets mentally are fragile right now. They don't have a lot of confidence. Habibulin's playing very, very well. You know, he's had stops on McGillney. He reads the play very well, and he was a key player in that first period.
Plenty of intensity in that first period. More of the same in the second.
I love it. Play the body. Play the body. That's how the Winnipeg Jets are going to get out of it. That upsets the Vancouver Canucks. Vancouver doesn't expect Winnipeg to be playing the body so much. So that's the game plan. Keep playing the body.
So stand by for the second period in just a moment here on CKND, Winnipeg TV.
With the glimmering brilliance and the astonishing clarity of fine crystal, Piaf Stemware has been selected by our international buyers for its extraordinary design, sparkling cuts, and exceptional value. Exclusively made by one of the finest glassmakers in France, a set of 10 could easily cost $59.50. But you can acquire this beautiful stemware at Domo. Each goblet is only 99 cents or less.
My name is Raymond Hart. I'm an egg farmer here at Claresholm. I've lived here all my life. Anyway, we produce about 12,000 eggs a day. Good appearance, good shell. That's a grade A egg. Yolk is loose. I can't juggle eggs, but I collect them all right. I'll eat a couple of these for breakfast. Have a couple of these for lunch, too, as far as that is concerned. That's a good egg. I get you a couple for breakfast?
Molson Jets Hockey on CKND is brought to you in part by MTS, Canadian Tire, Winnipeg Jeep Eagle, 1430 Ellis at Arena Road, and by McDonald's. Have you had your break today?
Canucks and Winnipeg Jets prepare for period number 2. We'll take a look at the summary of that opening period. Jyrki Lumme opened things up with a goal on a power play at the 3-minute mark. A good pass from Esa Tikkanen. Alexander McGillney also drew an assist. The Jets tied it up when Mike Stapleton let a shot go from the high slot. His 6th of the year. Hit 2 on the power play. Tkachuk and McIver drew the assists. And then his first goal of the year, his first goal as a Jet, Craig Muni, unassisted as he intercepted a bad clearing effort by the Canucks and put it home at 15:43. The Jets outshot the Canucks 15-10. The leading shooter in the period, Jyrki Lumme of the Canucks, with 4.
Canadian Tire has great prices on everything you need. Plus, earn Canadian Tire money with every cash purchase of merchandise. Great prices made better at Canadian Tire.
Both clubs went 1 for 2 on the power play in that first period, although 10 seconds remain in a penalty to Trevor Linden. Nikolai Hababulin in goal for the Winnipeg Jets. And Kirk McLean, you know, after 19 games without having played, just getting back into the feel of it. Well, join CKND Kids TV in celebrating the final Jets Wives Carnival. And that's coming up Saturday afternoon. It will be at the Convention Center. Get your favorite Jets to autograph for you and sign up to be a Kids TV kid. That little feller will be there. This will be a carnival to remember. That's Saturday at the Convention Center.
This will be a good challenge for Winnipeg Jets, Kurt. The last 2 games against Vancouver, Winnipeg had been leading both games, and Vancouver pulled both those games out. So Winnipeg Jets got to stay focused, stay concentrated, try to get another goal, and not let Vancouver back in the game.
Kachuk comes out between Drake and Doan. Jets with a man advantage for 10 seconds. Courtnall and Jelena, the forwards for Vancouver. Kachuk wins the draw, takes it, gives to Doan, but offside was Dallas Drake. Dallas Drake surrendered his number 18 to Chad Kilger, who wanted it. Drake said, I don't care, I'll take whatever they give me. Took number 11. Actually, had he had his druthers, he'd have taken number 12. But he didn't have that because Rob Murray has dibs on 12, and of course Rob Murray's in Springfield.
That really makes sense to me. I had trouble understanding that one.
Puck goes back into the Canucks zone. McLean gives to Lume. He sends it ahead. Puck goes out to center ice. Linden's out of the box. Courtnall didn't see him. And Russ Courtnall had his head up and looked to his left. Trevor Linden could have been gone.
Well, you see that so many times in hockey, a player coming out of the penalty box, and it's just the right timing. And as you say, Linden was open, was free, but Courtnall just didn't see him in time, couldn't get it over to him. But Trevor Linden had a pretty good breakaway if we could have got the puck.
Face off to the left of Hababulin. Kachuk and Linden. Kachuk gets it to Manson, takes it behind, leaves it there for Kachuk. To Drake. Tried it to center, stopped by Courtnall, tried to fit Linden, and at time the pass was knocked down. Here's Kachuk, gives to Drake. Drake back for Kachuk. Kachuk back now for Tverdovsky, and he got caught up in traffic, and here come the Canucks. Jelena with Linden. Jelena moves it, lets it go wide. Lume at the point, pumps it in for Linden. He missed it. Merzen pinches in. Puts it behind for Jelena. Can't center. Tverdovsky took it from him. Stopped at the blue line. Lume dumps it in, and Hababulin covers it up.
Well, the Winnipeg Jets know to break the slump, they have to shoot it. And what's happening here right now, they're fiddling around with it. Kachuk just can't get a handle on it, but he drops a bad back pass here, and they almost get caught here. Tverdovsky for the Winnipeg Jets is a wonderful skater, but he is caught up ice so much. That's going to cost this hockey club sooner or later.
Face off to the left of Nikolai Hababulin. Ronning and Jamnov. Newman puts it around. Finlay hit by Tikkanen. Tikkanen can't get it by Olczyk. Jamnov checked by Ronning. Puts it in. McGillney goes deep. Tikkanen goes to the net. McGillney centers. Jamnov is there to knock it away. Korolev trying to get by. Now Jamnov pokes it in, goes after it himself. Alexei Jamnov in behind the goal. But there's going to be an interference penalty against the Winnipeg Jets.
See on the penalty, Kurt, Eddie Olczyk there, just a little too cute for his own good. Zamnoff was taking the puck into the corner, and Eddie, instead of working, started to interfere with the Vancouver defenseman. And Eddie, thinking that he was helping Zamnoff, actually was picked off very easily by the referee as an interference call. Here we go. See, Eddie right away is trying to hold up the defense to give Zamnoff enough time to get in the corner to make the pass right back to Eddie. But the referee sees it right away and says that's interference, obstruction, whatever you want to call it. as Eddie tried to help Alexei.
Here's Rawleen to McGillney. To Rawleen. 2-1, the Jets lead. 1.5 gone in the second period. The Canucks with a man advantage. Lume moves in, lets it go. That went off Hamabulin's shoulder. Now it goes back to McGillney, to Rawleen, to McGillney. Rawleen. Linden's in front. Here's the shot. Blocked in front by Muni to Stapleton. And he dumps it out. Rawleen goes back. Lume puts it outside. Muni has it now. Gives to Drake. To Muni. Dumps it straight up the middle. Picked off by Linden. Trying to get by Drake. Can't. Now Tikkanen dumps it in. Linden gives chase. Drake pesters him. Linden back to the point. Lume. Over. Rawleen's shot. Blocked. Muni trying to get out. He can't. Linden goes after it. Tied up by Manson. Hamabolin leaves it there for Muni. Now Manson clears it away. 45 seconds left in the penalty. To the Jets, Eddie Olczyk. Here's Martin Gellin on the fly on the left side, trying to go through. Cut off by Finlay. Puck in behind. Gellin has centers, and Finlay has it again. Jeff Finlay takes his time, dumps it all the way down. And as McLean leaves it for Kuchera, 22 seconds remain in the Jet penalty. Here's Frank Kuchera to center, dumps it in deep. And Hamabolin elects to grab and hold on. Obviously, he's been told not to overhandle the puck because just about every time he gets it, Daddy's holding it.
Well, he is holding it, Kurt, and I think what has happened to the Jets coaching staff, wants him to slow down the play, too. Winnipeg Jets with the defensive team, the way they're playing right now, the more face-offs they get, that doesn't hurt them too bad. So the Jets aren't running around their own end. Hamabolin feels more comfortable. Let's take the face-off, settle it down, and we'll go from there.
Face-off will go to his left. He's 5th in the league in save percentage. Jeff Hackett of the Chicago Blackhawks is number 1 in that category. Hawks here on Friday night. Hockey is sent to center ice. Babbage goes after it. Stapleton made him hustle. Now Kuchera gives it to Dowd. Dowd gains the line. Drop to Babbage. Here's Babbage. Shot. Knocked down in front. Olczyk out of the penalty box. Goes and grabs the puck. Gives it to Drake. 3-on-2. The Jets gain the line. Drake to Olczyk. Shot. And McLean moved across and made the save. Pocket center ice with it. There's Manson. Manson's pass goes straight up. McLean. Into the corner. Babbage. Back in deep. Now Doan wins it, sends it back to the point. Manson shot. That's wide. Babbage with it. Can't get it out. Here's Drake to the corner. Doan. Doan in front. Jamnov. Jamnov looks at Manson. The hammer. The save. And Babbage clears it away. Manson goes back. And it's icing Vancouver.
Nothing added, nothing taken away.
If you were to ask what's new on the horizon for wheat growers, we'd have one word. A word that delivers better and more consistent control of wild oats and wild millet. A word that offers you the widest range of tank mixes. A word that gives you a special wild oat rate to save you money. That word is Horizon.
know, Kurt, I was talking a while ago about the Winnipeg Jet defenseman Febraury getting caught up ice. Dave Babbage gets caught up ice. Winnipeg Jets break out. Jim Dowd stays back. Eddie Olczyk gets a good shot there. But there again, a mistake by a Vancouver Canuck defenseman, get caught too deep in his zone.
Olczyk is out with Korolev and Shamnov. It goes back to Shamnov. Lets it go. Big rebound. And that's picked up and taken away by Kuchera. To center ice. Stopped there by Korolev. Korolev pumps it in. McLean leaves it for Kuchera. Approached by Korolev. To the corner, Ronning. His pass stopped at center ice. Shamnov goes back. Finlay. Olczyk. Bouncing puck. Couldn't get the handle on. Tikinen's drive. That didn't miss by much. Here's McGillney. Puts it outside the zone, and with it, Kuchera, who drives it right back in. Back to get it is Tempo Numminen. Sends it to center. Kuchera. Put it across. Rolline picks it up. Rolline's pass for Tikkanen, off him all the way down, and back to get it is Finlay. 5 minutes and 16 seconds gone in the second period. The Jets lead the Canucks 2-1. Canucks dump it back in. Numminen goes for it. It's Olczyk. Puts it back. Finlay will give it a try. The Canucks trying to bottle things up now in the neutral zone. Jets do manage to dump it in, and with it there is Lume. To Merzen, approached by Tkachuk. Merzen dumps it in. Back forward is Tverdovsky. Around for Drake. Drake got it to Manson. On the right side to Doan. Doan with Tverdovsky trailing. Doan dumps it at the net. Merzen trying to clear, stopped by Drake. Drake is checked. Linden gets to the line, flipped it over. Courtnall and Tverdovsky go for it. Tverdovsky behind his goal, around for Drake. Drake into the middle for Doan. Off his stick, here's Tkachuk with Doan. Tkachuk gets over the line, gets Tverdovsky. Back to Tkachuk, will he shoot? He does. The save on McLean. Now starting away, 2-on-1. Jelena with Courtnall. The pass to Courtnall. Courtnall moves in, tried it back for Jelena. Oh, they were slow motion. And it didn't work. Puck in behind the net. Courtnall waiting for help. Jelena alone in front. Courtnall couldn't get him the puck. Tverdovsky pokes into the corner. Jelena. Courtnall. Jelena. Courtnall. Never more than the save.
Good action there, Kurt. Good offensive skills by both teams there. Courtnall hangs on to the puck. Give Dallas Drake some coming back to check on Jelena. Give him some credit there. Now coming down at the other end, you're going to see Tkachuk. He loses the puck again. Tverdovsky, he's got to blast this puck. He tries to get cute. He puts it on the backhand of Tkachuk. He just doesn't get a clean shot. Tverdovsky now is behind the Vancouver net, and it goes down the other zone. Tverdovsky's either got to shoot the puck or get back in his own zone. But that's what'll happen to a young guy like that. He'll try to be too nice on the ice for a while and start passing off to his teammates to make friends. He's got to take charge of the game. He's got some skills.
Face off in the Jets zone near the 7-minute mark of the second period. 2-1, the Jets lead. Puck in the corner. Walker has King after him. It's in behind. Here's Dowd. His shot. Now it goes to McIver for Fraser. Flipped out to center ice. Tim Hunter back for it. Hunter sends it off the glass. It goes to Babbage on the right side. Dowd can't get by McIver. Now puts it into Hunter. Nobody in front. Hunter tried to get there, was cut off. It goes to Walker. Behind the net, Dowd. Waves it there. Muni goes after it. Tried it for King. Now O'Coin flipped it up. And it was out of play.
Hello again, I'm Kurt Kielbach, down on the basement floor at Jim Gauthier, home of Manitoba's largest indoor used car selection. You'll find every make, every model, every shape, every selection. In fact, at any given time, 12 months a year, in excess of 50 vehicles, 50 used vehicles on the floor, the basement floor, here at Jim Gauthier, Chevrolet's Geo Cadillac, home of the big buy.
On McPhillips, north of Inkster.
The only murder David Crane can't solve is his wife's. Now, he'll be the first to try an experimental drug.
You really transferred memory?
And relive her death.
It works. It was like I was actually there.
But how do you catch a killer you can't see?
You okay? You're bleeding.
Can't touch.
You are grasping at thin air, pal.
And can't forget. Starts Friday.
The last time the Jets went over 7 periods without scoring in 82-83, Dave Babbage was among them. He'll be joining Joe Pascucci in the upcoming intermission. We'll also have a Newsline update and Dirk Devil trivia along with the MTS scoreboard. By the way, I mentioned earlier the guy who broke the slump with a goal won the Calder Trophy that year. That, of course, was Dale Hawerchuk. That year, the Jets became the most improved team in the NHL. Tom Watt won the Coach of the Year. Here's Kuchera. Puts it into Jet territory. Back forward is Newmanen. Newmanen's pass. That stop. It's put out in front. Korolev bats at it. And with it now is Zhamnov. Zhamnov to Korolev. Kuchera took it away. Gives to Tikkanen to McGillney. And offside was Ronning.
Well, as we talked about the log jam, the Winnipeg Jets were. Look at what's going on here in the Eastern Conference. Montreal 65 points, Hartford 54. All kinds of clubs fighting for a playoff spot. Hartford come back tonight to beat Montreal to pick up a few more points. We were told that if Boston doesn't make the playoffs, it'll be the first time since 2 very important dates happened. 1967, they didn't make the playoffs, and that was the year I went into the NHL. That's when the salaries doubled.
You must have been the reason they didn't make it.
Here's Tikkanen. Backs at it. McGillney. It goes back. Rolling to Ronning. Ronning dumps it in behind. McGillney chased by Zhamnov. In front. Kuchera tried to go through. It's sent back to center. Rolling fires it in. Newmanen with it for Winnipeg. Tried it for Olchek by him. That goes all the way down. Going to get it is Rolling. And it's icing Winnipeg. Well, in 48 hours, we'll be right back here. Hopefully you will be too, as the Chicago Blackhawks take on the Winnipeg Jets on CKND. Lots of tickets available for that one. Somebody asked me the other day, if you could go to any game involving the Jets, which team would you want to see visiting? And I said the Chicago Blackhawks, because they've had great rivalries at times with Calgary, more recently with Vancouver, at times even with Edmonton in the high-scoring years. But over the whole time, games with Chicago have been great. Jelena gets the pass to Linda to Courtnall. He hit the goal post. Now Courtnall down in the corner for Jelena. Jelena trying to work it in front. Drake gloved it away. Lume flipped it up and out of play.
Oh, could you see Vancouver's starting to come on a little bit here, but Tverdovsky is a young guy, and he just doesn't know where to go on the ice. It's like a magnet. He gets pulled out of position all the time. And there, what you got is Manson standing in front by himself most of the time. Tverdovsky now, he'll come to the corner when Manson's in the corner. He shouldn't be there. And Vancouver's picking up on him pretty good. It's kind of a nitmare for Dave because he doesn't know where his partner's going to be out there.
Manson to Tverdovsky. Tried it for Tkachuk by him. Tkachuk chopped at Lume. Now Tverdovsky has to wait. Now dumps it in. And with it is Lume. To Merzen. Nearing the midway mark of the second period. The Jets over the Canucks 2-1. It's in all the way down into the Jets. On back with it is Manson. Manson to Doan. Doan to Tkachuk. Merzen did a Kurt Browning imitation. It goes back now to Lume. To Merzen. He sends it to center. Goes by Manson. Here's Linden, a breakaway. Here he goes. He scores.
play starts back with Erky Lumi. Makes a good pass. And all of a sudden, quick transition. Winnipeg Jets, bad bounce over Manson's stick. But there you got Linden gelling all the way up. When Manson comes forward like Tverdovsky has to back up Manson, and he's not. He's staying even with Manson, and there where we get the 2-on-none, basically. The puck is bouncing on Linden, but now he finally gets the play he wanted last time. He spreads out Harvey Bowen's legs and puts it right on the ice through the legs.
So it's 2-2. Here's Eastwood. Lost it. Dowd comes up with it. Down to Babbage. Babbage to center ice. Trying to dump it in. It's taken by Eastwood. Ahead now for Chassé. Chassé bumped by O'Coin. Sandlack. Got it out to center. And with it there, Muni. 2-2. Midway through the second period. A cluster along the boards. Now Hunter comes up with it. Hunter dropped it off. Here's Dowd. Sandlack shot. Have a ball in the save. And now he's upset. Tim Hunter, a nemesis of goaltenders past and present, managed to get a piece of him.
Well, Hunter makes a good back pass to Dowd, and they get the puck over, and Vancouver gets a good shot here. But Tim Hunter sees what he thinks is a loose puck. He gets pushed in the net by Muni a little bit. He puts his hands up to say, hey, it's not me, guys, but Albie Boone. He says, hey, I don't have to take this. You guys can't be running me like that. And Albie Boone trying to give the spark to the Winnipeg Jets hockey club by getting a little feisty back there.
Remember the time Rick Tabaracci is a Winnipeg Jet, hit Theo Fleury behind the net. One of the greatest checks you'll ever see a goaltender make. Well, Tim Hunter on the next shift ran Tabaracci like nobody's ever run a goaltender before. So he's made a career out of it.
Well, he knows his role out there. I happened to bump into him yesterday. He's one of the nicest, soft-spoken guys you ever met. But on the ice, he is miserable.
Face off to the left of Havel-Bulin. Puck goes back to the blue line. Here's the shot. In front backhand. That's knocked down. Now King trying to get it out. Sandlack gives it to Dowd. Dowd puts it back with an O'Coin to Sandlack. Dumped in behind the net. Dowd wrestled by Muni. Sandlack digs it out. Knocked behind the net. Muni's without a stick. Lots of traffic. Babbage shot. And Nikolai Havel-Bulin is there again.
Well, this is an ideal shift for the Vancouver Canucks. They need a lift out there, and this line of Hunter, Dowd, and Sandlack have given an excellent effort out there. They had some good scoring chances. They played the body. What the Winnipeg Jets were doing early in the game was playing the body so well, they were getting chances. Now Vancouver was just shown by that good line by Hunter, hey, play the body, guys. We'll get some chances.
Our second intermission guest, Dave Babbage. He was here the second year the Jets were in the NHL. And yes, he'll still be in the NHL when the Jets are in Phoenix.
Loves the game of hockey.
Ronning and Shamnov. It goes to Olchek. Good Korolev. Korolev working down against Raleigh. Can't work it in front. It goes behind. Kucherov. Can't get it by Shamnov. Korolev. Olchek behind the goal. Olchek trying to kick it free. Four of them in behind the Vancouver goal. Korolev wins it. Korolev can't escape. Running. Sends it to the corner. Taking it. Pushes it out. Newman and chased by McGillney. Now back with it is Kucherov. To Ronning. Sends it into Jet territory. Finley to Shamnov. To Newman. 8:20 left in the second period. 2-2 the score. Shamnov tried to make it through the middle. Here was checked. And the puck is cleared by the Canucks. Tverdovsky and Tikkanen race for it. McGillney follows up. Korolev. Tverdovsky. Right out of the stick of Courtnall. Challenage check. Here's Doan. He's checked by Courtnall. Courtnall abandoned the puck. Here's Doan with it. He can't get free. Now Linden. Here's Linden speeding by Tverdovsky. The shot. Havel-Bulin the save. Linden with it now. Penalty coming to the Jets. Back it goes. Manson missed it. Doan goes for it, but as soon as he touches it, the whistle sounds. 2-2, and the Canucks about to go on a power play.
There's a very simple reason why there's nothing more reliable than MTS Advantage 800 service. It's not the fact that even our backup systems have backup systems, or that a call can be routed through 8 million alternate routes if there's a problem. It's because if it isn't reliable,
we're sorry. Your call cannot be completed as dialed.
you might as well do this to your business. Advantage 800. Everything in business should be this reliable.
Play Safeway Score and Win. When the Jets score on CKND, you could win an IBM Aptiva multimedia computer, a GE Spacemaker 2 microwave oven, Dirt Devil's MVP and Dust Devil from Royal Appliance, or $300 in MasterCard Travelers checks from the Bank of Montreal. You could also win a trip for two to Mazatlan, Mexico, courtesy of Canadian Holidays, Canada's largest vacation company. Safeway's participating products, Eagle brand condensed milk, and Basel margarine. Score and win at Safeway, today's better way.
Well, there we see a nice close-up of the Quaff 1, Kerry Fraser. How does the referee call a penalty? You'll see Zamnoff breaks through, embellishes a little bit. Everybody puts their hands in the air. Wasn't me. But watch the difference here. Trevor Linden keeps on driving his legs toward the net after Tverdovsky holds him. So Kerry Fraser can say, I let it go at first, but you hung on to him after he kept on working. The difference there was Linden kept on driving his legs to draw the penalty.
Stapleton to King moving in, and he couldn't get the shot away. Now Rawlene in behind the net against Stapleton. It goes to Lume. Lume puts it back now to Rawlene. Rawlene cuts in front. 2-2 the score. The Canucks with a manpower advantage. Linden to Tikkanen. Tikkanen moves in to Linden. Shot. Hit the post. They score! McGillney took the rebound off the post. It's 3-2 Vancouver on the power play.
Well, you'll see here, Trevor Linden's having an excellent hockey game. Bad break for Winnipeg Jets. Both Muni and Manson are together. They catch their legs. They fall down. There's nobody back. Trevor Linden hits the post. McGillney takes it. Open netter. Watch the two defensemen fall down. 3-on-1, basically. Off the far post. Back out to McGillney. Wrong guy to leave. Wrong guy to have the puck go to is McGillney. He's got such a good eye. He just follows that play. Here's Muni. Manson tangle up their feet. Linden goes to the net and moves over on the right. The guy who's got his 47th goal, McGillney.
McGillney from Linden and Tikkanen at 12:46 on the power play for McGillney, his 47th goal of the year. So it's 3-2 Vancouver. Eastwood goes after it behind the Vancouver goal. Now with it is Walker. Walker chased by Chassé. Around it goes to Hunter. Can't get by Muni. Babbage behind for Aucoin. Chassé gets a piece of Aucoin. Shannon to Chassé. Back it goes for Shannon. Now Hunter takes it away. Hunter and McIver. Hunter frees himself of McIver. Flips it in front. Here's a shot. Aucoin unable to get much on that puck. Now Aucoin gets it again. Gives it to Dowd. Back it goes. Hunter's shot. Now the bullet grabs. Holds on.
Well, it's a real advantage when the Vancouver Canucks can throw guys like Hunter and they put the pressure on the Winnipeg Jets. This next goal is going to be a key goal for the Canucks because it's 3-2 right now. They just couldn't get enough wood on that shot, but Winnipeg Jets are scrambled right now. If the Canucks score the next goal, that'll take the wind out of the Jets' sails, so Jets got to pick it up. But they're not playing the body anymore. They were first period, they were banging bodies. Now this Hunter line of Dowd and Sandlak, they're coming out there and they got the Winnipeg Jets with their heads down. They're knocking them over, and that's what the Winnipeg Jets were successful at in the first period. Vancouver's doing that now to the Winnipeg Jets.
Now the Canucks have scored both goals that have been scored in the second period, and they've outshot the Jets 13-4 through 13 and a half minutes. So they lead it 3-2. Trevor Linden has taken control of this hockey game in the second period. Here's Manson. Gets it over to Tkachuk. Tkachuk flips it high. After it is Doan, bumps into Lume. Puck goes to Manson to Tverdovsky. Pass to Drake. He dumps it in. McLean gives to Lume. Stopped at the blue line by Tverdovsky. Doan. Kachuk. Kachuk trying to work in front. He was checked, and now Shelina. Lost it in turn to Drake. It goes to Doan. Puck goes in front. And there's going to be a penalty to Vancouver.
Well, again, the Winnipeg Jets, when they play in those small quarters and they get their big boys like Kachuk and Doan just banging around, roughing it up a little bit, Dallas Drake also, something will happen out there. And you'll see right now, Vancouver's stuck in their end. And what happens, we get the tripping call against Doan, but that was just hard work on the boards by Dallas Drake and Doan. Just work hard, knock somebody down, and pretty soon Vancouver's going to be clutching and grabbing, trying to pull you down. It's very tough work when somebody's leaning on you all night long. Winnipeg Jets are successful when they're playing the body, and now we just see a penalty call against Vancouver just because of hard work.
Dana Merson slashing at 14:09. The Jets scored a power play goal in the first period. Mike Stapleton, that was the one that broke the long scoreless drought. Kachuk, Shamnov, Olczyk up front. Tverdovsky and McIver are back. Kachuk and Linden in the circle. Linden wins it to Raleigh. The Canucks can't clear. Here's McIver. Lets it go. Deflected wide. Linden goes after it. Tverdovsky cut it off. Back it goes to Kachuk. Kachuk gets it over now to McIver. Puts it behind. Olczyk trying to center. Raleigh clears it away. Back is Oleg Tverdovsky. Good pass to Kachuk. Kachuk is checked by Lume. Now Tverdovsky to Olczyk. Moves in. He scores!
Well, there's a big goal. Watch the break the Winnipeg Jets go. Vancouver tries to clear it. It should go down the ice. It catches a crack in the glass. Comes right back to Eddie O. Eddie O makes the move over to the left on the glove side. Eddie looks to the sky and says, "Thank you, God." Off the glass. It's just one of those freak plays. Eddie Olczyk takes advantage. This is one of those breaks the Winnipeg Jets deserve to get once in a while. Good wrist shot over the left-hand glove of McLean. Eddie Olczyk can score goals. Here it is, just off the corner of the glass. Instead of going out over the blue line, comes right back to the Winnipeg Jets, and Eddie Ole picks up a goal.
So it's 3-3 with just over 5 minutes to go in the second period. Babbage to Ronning. He dumps it in. 20th of the year for Eddie O. Here's Newman. Gives to Shamnov. Dump to center. Babbage fires it back in. Newman looking for Shamnov. The pass was just knocked away by O'Coin. McLean to the corner, O'Coin. Ahead to Ronning. To Tikkanen. Gets over the line. Shot. Glove easily and held by Nikolai Havabula.
The dictionary defines big this way. Crafts Canada defines it this way. With over 40,000 items, you'll find just about any craft item at Crafts Canada. And with prompt service and outstanding prices, why shop anywhere else for crafts? Hurry to Crafts Canada to get these outstanding buys. All cake pans, 25% off. Ceramcoat paint, just $139. Dried flowers, 25% off. A new definition of big? Crafts Canada. Now in a location close to you.
There's only one way to beat winter in Manitoba. Four-wheel drive from Winnipeg Jeep Eagle. The 96 Jeep Grand Cherokee is Canada's best all-terrain vehicle, combining safety, elegance, and 4x4 toughness. The Jeep Cherokee, still Manitoba's favorite four-wheel drive utility vehicle. And don't forget the Eagle Talon, the all-wheel drive sports car. Sure-footed traction in all conditions, plus the guaranteed lowest prices and lowest lease rates at Winnipeg Jeep Eagle, Western Canada's largest volume Jeep Eagle dealership. 1430 Ellis, just a slap shot from the arena.
Olczyk, who took advantage of this. It took a weird hop, but then you'll also notice that Oleg Tverdovsky managed to get a stick on it and just push it ahead to Olczyk, who then fired it home. So Olczyk's 20th from Tverdovsky and Tkachuk. And we have another winner in our Safeway Score and Win contest. Tom Duyak of Winnipeg entered Score and Win at Safeway and attached a label from Purex bathroom tissue. Congratulations, Tom. You've won a Texas Instruments personal organizer. Here's Rolline back in his own zone. Sends it to center ice, 3-3 of the score. Olczyk dumps it in. One thing that excites coaches when Olczyk scores is he's a streak scorer. Here's Rolline, gets to center ice, gets in across the jet line, is hit by Finlay. Now McGillney puts it in behind the goal. Running try to center. Puck goes into the corner. Shamnov trying to Gypsy Doodle, he does. Gets it ahead now to Korolev. Korolev to center ice. Gains the Canuck line. Dumps it in. Olczyk goes after it with Tikkanen. Olczyk takes it to the corner. Back to the point. Tverdovsky. His pass for Shamnov. Gloved into the corner. Tikkanen written out by Korolev. Shamnov in running battle for it. Running pokes it out. Shamnov gives to Tverdovsky. Tried for Doan. Saw Rolline coming. Now the pass ahead. Too far for Tikkanen. And well out to cover it is Habibulin.
I would say he's sticking in there. You know, he has some bad pins. We noticed it today in the practice, Kurt. He can hardly turn it, but he gives them an effort. He's always chirping on the ice. He keeps his teammates loose. He almost got a clear-cut breakaway there, but he just doesn't have the speed he did before. But he's become a leader in that dressing room. He's won some Stanley Cups. He's a key guy. This hockey club for Vancouver has got a lot of talent. It's going to take a guy like Tikkanen to make them realize that they can win the Stanley Cup just like he was part of it years ago.
Linden is out there now with Kortnall and Jelenoff for the face-off at the Jet zone. 3:25 left in the second period. 3-3 the score. Tkachuk is waved, so Drake stands opposite Linden. See where Hartford came back to beat Montreal 5-3. The Raiders are hot. Here's Manson. Starts away. Gets it on the right side to Doan at center. His pass to Drake. Drake dumps it in. Doan goes after it. Lume gets there first. Gives to Jelenoff. Knocked away by Drake. Tverdovsky in front for Doan. Now Tkachuk. It goes to Drake. Tverdovsky a blast. Just missed. Here's Tkachuk. Spins. Manson shot. Big rebound. Kortnall. Chased by Doan. Has to retreat. And dumps it. Back to the jet line where Manson goes. Manson's pass cut off by Merzen. Now it goes to Kortnall. Kortnall just managed to flip it through just wide. Tkachuk. Now it's sent to the blue line by Tverdovsky, and Merzen has it. 2.5 left in the second. The score tied. Both clubs at full strength. Tkachuk knocks it ahead. Lume kicks it back. Jets nearly caught with 2 minutes in again. Tkachuk dumps it in. Back forward is Merzen. To Jelenoff. To center ice. Walker. Lost it. Muni. Drives it in. King. Puts it in deep. Merzen. Approached by Stapleton. The puck goes free. Down. To Lume. Takes his time. Gets it ahead now. Walker slipped. Stapleton has it. Gives to McIver. Just under 2 minutes left in the second. 3-3 the score. Stapleton dumps it in. McLean lets it go to Merzen. And that's icing.
The big man, Dana Merzen, playing pretty well for the Vancouver Canucks. He had some sloppy years a couple years ago. We seem to mature quite a bit. You know, he's got 9 points right now. I think he's drawn some confidence from Wickley. Wickley's got to wonder about this hockey club. They just got too much talent to be playing the way they are. They got good goaltending. They got toughness. They got skilled players. There's just something missing with this team. They can win a couple games, then they go in the tank for a while. And it has to be frustrating for Wickley, but just too much talent in the Vancouver Canucks not to be higher up in the standings.
Well, they're 3 games over 500 on the road, but they've been having a lot of problems in the new building.
Well, brand new building. They got to put fans in there. They're not playing exciting hockey.
Here's Newman. Now taken in, comes up with it, tried it for running. Olczyk got there to deflect the pass out. And going back forward is Babbage. Babbage can't get it out. Korolev, checked by O'Coin. Now Finlay has some room. Lets it go. Didn't get much on the shot. O'Coin, checked from behind by Zhamnov. Good it for Korolev. Now Korolev gets it again. Ronning takes it from him, gives it right back to him. 3 Canucks in against Korolev. Korolev comes up with it. Gets it to Olczyk. To Zhamnov. Finlay. Wide. Going forward is McGillney. Up to center in the last minute of the second period. McGillney puts it right on the stick of Zhamnov. To Korolev. Shot. McLean to save. With Chassé going through the crease. Muni kicks it in. Here comes McGillney. 47 goals. Gains the line. Goes outside. Lets it go. And Zhamnov has it. Zhamnov looks for room. Finds some. Makes some. Gains the line. Is checked by Lume. Manson. Tried it for Zhamnov. He dumps it in. Merzen. Puts it over the head of Schellen all the way down. Manson has it 12 seconds in the period. Flips it in. Back forward is Merzen. And they call that icing, so the Canucks will get the advantage of a late faceoff in Jet territory.
We get a chance to see Alexei Zhamnov there. Sometimes he's on the ice a little longer than he should be, but this case here, he was out for 2 minutes. He seemed to be fresh. Made some good skilled moves out there. Jets had some chances. You know, this line that's playing up there. Here's Zhamnov. Watch the good play he makes. He looks over to Korolev and just deflected by Cliff Ryan. Or Korolev gets a good chance to score. Zhamnov's got so many skills. He controlled the game. And that shift there, he started to handle the puck a little bit better. Again, Winnipeg, 3 Vancouver Canucks on Korolev. They can't take the puck off. There's Eddie Olczyk behind the net, out front to Zhamnov. Quick move, good shot by Finlay. And Korolev just got a little too far over in front of the net. Otherwise, he would have had open net. Zhamnov starting to pick it up a little bit.
6.6 seconds left in the second. 3-3 of the score. Linden against Eastwood for this faceoff. Eastwood wins it. Numminen will take his time. Puts it over to Shannon. To Numminen. Waiting for the buzzer. And it comes.
Well, a good period going to the third, 3-3. Winnipeg Jets have had 24 shots against Kurt McLean. He's got to be pleased with his first game back. He looks a little lost sometimes, but every minute he gets out there, he'll get back to the old Kurt McLean.
In the second intermission, Dave Babbage in conversation with Joe Pascucci. The score after 2, the Jets 3, the Canucks 3.
These days, it's not easy to hold on to your hard-earned dollars. But Zellers has a law that's on your side. It's the law that gives you the right to the lowest possible price. And here's proof. Save 58% on this 128-liter wheeled garbage can, just $9.97. Plus, save up to 1/3 on denim fashions for the whole family. Zellers, where the lowest price is the law, every day.
Worried about wrinkles? Then use the cream found in a study conducted by a leading consumer publication in France to be one of the most effective and least expensive. Yes, that's right. Nivea Visage Anti-Wrinkle Cream was found to be among the most effective ways to fight wrinkles. Conduct your own study and see for yourself. Nivea Visage Anti-Wrinkle Cream.
Introducing Plymouth Breeze. While it has 16 valves worth of acceleration and sleek aerodynamics, it also has a specially modified double wishbone suspension system for superior handling, which really makes the new Plymouth Breeze a lot of fun to drive.
I love my car. At McDonald Auto Body, we know what it's like to love your car. We
We've been in love with cars for over 50 years, and we're proud that our customers recommend McDonald Auto Body because they love the work we do and our written guarantee. So when your car needs body work, show how much you care.
I love my car.
We've been in love with cars for over 50 years.
Eddie Olczyk's first goal since February 1st, his 20th of the season, has the Winnipeg Jets in a 3-3 tie with the Vancouver Canucks after 2 periods of play. And now joining me here is one-time Winnipeg Jet defenseman Dave Babbage. And Dave, it's a tough hockey game out there tonight.
Oh, geez, it's one of those games that's really scrambly. The puck's bouncing a lot, and so you really don't know what's going on. You just try to stay on the defensive side, but obviously with some of the goals, it's just not happening. But we have to fight through that, and both teams have to play that way.
Now, I saw you before the game. You were talking with Randy Carlisle. Now, you got a boat for your 1,000th game. He got a boat for his 1,000th game. Were you talking about where you're going to hold the race?
Well, I think it's no contest. Mine's a little bigger, maybe a little more powerful, but no, it was, we're just talking about it and kicking things around. Remember the old fishing days out here in the ice fishing hut that we used to have out in the Red River, but no, I don't think there's any races going to be going on. If I fish here, I'll fish with him. If he fishes out there, he'll come with me.
Can you talk about the fans here in Winnipeg in your days as a Jet?
Well, I tell you what, I had never had a complaint about the fans here. They treated me probably better than they should have at times, and so no, it was a great thrill playing here. I still love coming here and hopefully taking 2 points out of the building. But I know a lot of the wins out of the fan sales in Winnipeg here because of the team moving, and it's it's tough to support the team in that respect. But there's so many diehard Winnipeg Jet fans that are they really feel bad that the team is moving because it's the heart and soul of the city, and but that's the way things go nowadays in this business.
Besides your tremendous ability, what has kept you going for so many years?
Well, I think it's a lot of luck and just the love of the game. I think if you didn't enjoy this game, it's too grueling to participate this long. I think that's the most important thing. It's still fun for me.
Well, for those of you at home who don't know, Dave Babbage owns a golf course here in town with his brother Wayne. It's the Players. And if you mention Dave's name, he'll give you a 10% discount, right?
Yeah, for sure.
That's on the first 9 holes. Dave Babbage, thank you very much. Good luck the rest of the season. Coming up next, as our Molson Jets hockey telecast continues, we'll have a CKND Newsline update with Barry Burns and some Dirt Devil trivia.
The Crafters Marketplace, Canada's largest indoor craft mall chain, has opened to rave reviews. We're a store of many talents, showcasing aisle after aisle of beautifully handmade items from North America's finest crafters. We're the never-ending, ever-changing craft show, open 7 days a week in Kildonan Crossing Shopping Centre and Pembina Village Shopping Centre. Attention crafters, show and sell your crafts directly to the public without having to be there. Call the Crafters Marketplace for booth information.
Hey, everybody. All I said was, hey, everybody.
That lovable, laughable single guy. Thursday at 7:30 on CKND, Winnipeg TV.
Let's roll.
When you buy a mutual fund, aren't you really investing in a professional money manager? Well, at CI Mutual Funds, we've got the right people in the right places. Like Sean Chan, managing our Asia-Pacific portfolios. John Zechner, specializing in Canadian securities. And Bill Priest, advising CI's international funds. Each highly respected, well-connected, and performance-driven. Your financial advisor knows CI's money managers. All you have to do is ask.
On a mission of scientific discovery.
Staggering!
To boldly seek out new civilizations. What are they doing here? Third Rock from the Sun. Tuesday at 7:30 on CKND, Winnipeg TV.
Oh, yeah. This is going to be fun. I'm loaded up, baby.
Load up on laughs.
It is all
Seinfeld. Thursday at 8 on CKND, Winnipeg TV.
Why not? You're there.
Exactly.
This CKND Newsline update is brought to you by AM 1290 Talk Radio. Talk with an attitude.
Here are some of the stories making news tonight. City Council votes to ask the province to maintain the level of care at city hospitals. Battered women begin to fight back, with O.J. Simpson's sister-in-law spearheading a campaign. Tobacco company ads reappear, and students here respond in a mixed fashion. What's up with the $2 coin? Is it really going to fall apart on us? 750 Canadian soldiers are slated for peacekeeping duties in Haiti, but are being held up by the UN. Pat Buchanan is throwing a big scare into many Americans after taking the New Hampshire primary ahead of Bob Dole. And just as Glenn Clark is set to take office as Premier in BC, a scandal over land holdings pops up. Complete news at 10:30 on Newsline, and in a moment, more Molson Jets hockey on CKND Winnipeg TV.
Announcing the incredible Fabulous Futon Factory Spring Fling Inventory Clear-Up. 10 to 50% off the absolute largest selection of quality futons and home furnishing accessories available in Winnipeg. Foam core double futons slash to $89. Queen size foam cores have been reduced to clear at only $100. Designer covers in hot patterns and colors are all priced to clear. Lava lamps, CD racks, and other accessories all at blow-up prices.
Visit or dial 94 Futon, 70 Albert at McDermott.
Son, you know why McDonald's calls this the Hockey Hero Burger?
No, Dad, why?
3 all-beef patties, 3 periods of hockey.
Yeah.
Monterey Jack and cheddar processed cheeses, home team, visitors. Tomato, face-off circle, home-style bun, arena where it all takes place.
And the sauce, that's the ice surface, right, Dad?
No. Sauce adds flavor, son. Works nicely with the lettuce.
The Hockey Hero Burger for a limited time.
Have you had your break today?
Dirt Devil presents Red Hot Trivia. Brought to you by Dirt Devil, makers of the MVP vacuum. Nothing escapes the power of a Dirt Devil. Who were the only 2 players to score 5 goals in a game for the Winnipeg Jets? We'll have the answer right after this.
Put the power of an upright in the palm of your hand with a Dirt Devil hand vac. It's lightweight, powerful, and has a revolving brush to deep clean any surface. Put it to work for you, and you'll see why nothing escapes the power of a Dirt Devil.
We're proud to announce that this model not only passed that famous ball bearing test, it surpassed it. It's the Dirt Devil MVP with maximum vacuum power. Just think what it can do in your home.
Who are the only 2 players to score 5 goals in a game for the Winnipeg Jets? Need a hint? The record occurred 13 years apart from each other. And the last player to score 5 for the Jets led his team in scoring in 94-95 with 65 points in 48 games. Alexei Zhamnov scored 30 goals, and 5 of them came on April 1st, 95 against the LA Kings.
To the blue line, and now down the right side, Zhamnov looking again, he shoots, he scores! What a boom! His 5th of the game!
I still remember this time of year, because I have a big memory, and like 5 goals in 1 game, it's, big time for me, I think, and for this team.
The only other player to score 5 goals in a game is a Winnipeg Jet. Played 4 years with the Jets from 1979 to 1983. In 288 games with the Jets, Willie Lindstrom scored 98 goals and 189 points. And on March 2nd, 1982, he scored 5 goals, a new team record. Alexei Zhamnov in 1995 and Willie Lindstrom in 1982. 5 goals in a game with the Winnipeg Jets. Another Red Hot Trivia. Brought to you by Dirt Devil, makers of the MVP vacuum. Nothing escapes the power of a Dirt Devil.
Promotional consideration provided by Optex Binoculars. Superior quality, deluxe features, excellent value, all backed by an industry-leading no-fault warranty. See your retailer today.
Let's find out what's happening around the National Hockey League tonight, courtesy of MTS. 6 other games. Let's start with Montreal and Hartford, and the Whalers came back from 3-1 to win 5-3, scoring 4 goals in the 3rd period. One-time Canuck, Jeff Brown, with 3 assists in that game. Martin Rosinski with 3 assists for the Habs. Buffalo leading Pittsburgh 4-3. The Sabres up 3-0 at 1 point. The Penguins scored 3 straight, 2 by Nedved, 26 and 27th to tie it. But Hannon with his 6th of the season has the Sabres in front with about 9 minutes to go in the third period. Florida continues to lead New Jersey. 3-1 the score there. Barnes with his 16th. Halik has his 7th for New Jersey. Toronto had a 2-0 lead on Tampa Bay, but in the third, the Lightning have struck for 2 goals. Zamner's goal, his 13th, tied it with just over 2 minutes remaining in regulation. Looks like they're heading to overtime. In Edmonton, Wayne Gretzky's 15th opened up the scoring, but then the Oilers came back with 3 straight. Ralph Intranuvo, his 1st of the season. The Whalers leading it by 2. That is good news for the Winnipeg Jets. A little later on this evening, in fact, just about starting, is Boston and Anaheim. Anaheim has never won in Boston. Vancouver and the Jets, of course, tied at 3. Craig Muni with his 1st goal of the season. You are up to date on the NHL, courtesy of MTS. Well, a good finish to that second period for the Winnipeg Jets, and with more on that period, let's send it upstairs to Kurt and Ted.
Well, you know, Ted, seems to be a lot of momentum shifts in this game. I mean, one team will carry it for a while, the other will, then all of a sudden it'll open up and it'll get physical. From minute to minute, it changes.
Well, neither one of these clubs is taking control of the game, Kurt. What's so interesting, the Winnipeg Jets were up 2-1. They went down 3-2, and the way they've been playing in the past, you know, they could have folded their tent right there and just quit. Eddie Olczyk comes back with a big goal, makes it 3-all, gives them some momentum now. Vancouver's got the ability to put the Winnipeg Jets away, but they're just not doing it.
Now you go into a third period, you get one club that has a habit of winning on the road, and another club that's had a hard time winning anywhere recently. So how does the feel go into the third period?
Well, Vancouver will be happy with the position they're at. They're on the road, 3-all, 20 minutes to play. That's the ideal scenario for them. Winnipeg Jets have to win this game. We're seeing tonight Edmonton's beating Los Angeles. You don't want Edmonton sneaking up behind you either. So it'll be a little bit more pressure on the Winnipeg Jets in the third.
So stand by. We'll have the third period in just a moment here on CKND TV, Winnipeg TV.
First time I'm playing Sports Select, right? 2 games, no problem. 1 more, I win. We're up 1 goal. Seconds left. And then, breakaway. He shoots! What a shot! And I'm thinking, oh no, don't blow it. I've come this far. Don't blow it now. And then...
Go ahead. Then what happens?
Well, he plucked it right out of the air. I won. My first crack at it.
Not surprisingly, wheat farmers prefer the Puma on the left. Puma plus your favorite broadleaf herbicide. For your worst weeds, all you have to do is unleash it.
Molson Jets Hockey on CKND is brought to you in part by Reimer Express, Park Pontiac Buick GMC, and by Athletes Wear.
So they're all even going into period number 3. The score is 3-3. The Vancouver Canucks opened the scoring in the first period. Jyrki Lume's 13th. Then Mike Stapleton tried it for Winnipeg. Craig Muni gave the Jets the go-ahead. In that second period, the Canucks came back with 2 in a row. Trevor Linden's 25th at 9:48. Alexander McGillney's 47th. Going into tonight, he was just behind the co-leaders, Mario Lemieux and Jaromir Jagr, who each had 48. And then Eddie Olczyk scored for Winnipeg, his 25th. That came his 20th on the power play at 14:48 from Tebradovsky and Tkachuk.
We want to make it perfectly clear. You'll find guaranteed low prices at your Canadian Tire store every day. If you find a better price anywhere, we'll match it. Guaranteed.
Both clubs at full strength to open this third period. Linden against Tkachuk. Linden has Jelena and Courtnall flanking him. Tkachuk with Drake and Doan. Tkachuk dumps it in. Back to get it is Merzen. McLean sends it to Jelena. Trying to get it by Tebradovsky. He can't. Now it's behind to Merzen. Dumped out all the way down the ice. Now Hababulin, Flames, Hurlik, Teradovsky. He puts it behind the net. Courtnall goes to fetch it, trying to center. Kachuk is there. Kachuk puts it into the corner. Teradovsky and Jelena for it. Now it pops for Linden. Courtnall backhand. Hababulin the save. Jelena against Teradovsky. Now Kachuk trying to drag it out. Does get outside for Winnipeg. Gets it over to Doan. He dumps it in. McLean stops it. Looks. Fades it to Linden. To center ice. Dumped in. And going backboard is Finley. 3-3. 1 minute into the third. Newmanen gets to center. He dumps it in. Rawline goes for it. Now with it behind his net. Kucherov turns. Sends it ahead. Taken by McGillney. Flipped out to center ice. Tikkanen and Finley have each other wrapped up. Now Finley goes for it. Tikkanen goes in after him. Korolev slides it behind the net. Running in traffic is checked, and here comes Eddie Olczyk with Newmanen and Jemna. Olczyk dumps it in. Goes after it. McLean behind the net. Checked by Olczyk. Now Korolev trying to center. McGillney is there. Knocked down by a high stick, and play has been called.
Eddie Olczyk started up in the first period, first shift. He had 2 body checks, and now you'll see him leading from the far end of the rink for the Vancouver. He's going to put it in the corner, and Eddie's pretty smart about this. He goes right to the corner of the net, checks McLean. That was a set play by Eddie. He wanted to go after McLean to handle it and hopefully get a break.
Eddie Olczyk, 20 goals on a season, and it's been an accomplishment because on many nights he hasn't even dressed. Here's O'Coin. Puts it across. Hunter dumped it in. Here's Sandlak backhand. It's in behind the goal. Now a centering effort picked off by the captain of the Jets, Chris King. He moves it in across the line. Goes after it himself. Babbage wraps him up. And now Sandlak can't clear. Fraser trying to center. Sandlak flips it high. Grabbed by McIver. McIver's pass to King. O'Coin bumped by King. Kicks at it. Sandlak checked by Fraser. Babbage behind his goal. Puts it in the corner. Hunter waits for Muni. Takes Muni out, but McIver takes the puck, centers, and the Canucks clear it away. Stapleton. Check. Here's McIver. To Teradovsky. Teradovsky had some trouble. Did manage to get by Linden. Dumped it in. Merson goes back for it. 3-3. 3 minutes gone in the third. Here's Courtnall in flight. Gains the line. Goes right through Manson and can't get. Now he centers it. Hababulin covers up. Oh, was Courtnall on the move.
What are you doing there?
In today's world of beers, Molson Special Dries in a world of its own.
Canadians today are searching for answers to the challenges facing our country. Where will the answers come from? Well, perhaps the solutions lie with the leaders of tomorrow, the young men and women on college and university campuses across Canada. I'm Peter Kent. Join me and find out what 10 leaders of tomorrow would do if they were the Prime Minister to help ensure the future of Canada.
Sunday at 9 on CKND.
Russ Courtnall, blazing speed. He gets Manson twisting his feet here. Manson has to go to the left. Courtnall comes around, but he's just skating a little too fast. He can't control the puck. Kachuk gets a stick on him. The last couple of games Jets have played against Vancouver, Courtnall scored some key goals.
Puck goes in behind the Jet goal. Manson drags it out. Finds Drake. Drake moves it to center. 3-3 is the score. Drake goes to the outside. Back to Doan. A quick shot. McLean covers up on it.
Kurt McLean doing the job he has to do is 3-all, keep his team in the game as long as he can. He knows that they've got some skill up front, and he just got to stop the Winnipeg Jets from scoring and believe in his own teammates are going to get one for him.
Hartford Whalers defeated the Montreal Canadiens. Buffalo over Pittsburgh. Florida, red hot over New Jersey. And Tampa Bay, speaking of hot, beats Toronto. Quick shot, good shot. McLean to save. A lot of clubs in the NHL have been turning things around recently. Buffalo for one, Hartford for another, Tampa for one. Some teams just keep on going, as Florida has done somehow. As Detroit has done. Go ahead.
As Coach Doug McLean has said, I'm tired of answering the question, when's it going to fall apart? He said, we just worked very hard. They got very, very good goaltending, and they play a very good system, and they got confidence.
Here's Shamnov, shot, kicked away by McLean. Merzen, checked by Shamnov. Shamnov moves to the high slot, puts it in deep. Here's old check, trying to jam it in. Now Tikkanen with it. Lugs it out, gives to McGillney. He flips it in deep. Newmanen goes back for it. Newmanen against McGillney. Shamnov tries for Korolev. Korolev pokes it ahead. It goes to Kucherov. Dumped out to center ice. Korolev waits, spins, dumps it in. Kucherov back to get it. 4 minutes gone in the third period. The score is tied 3-3. Newmanen, hold check. Here's Korolev. Korolev fakes it. Now lets it go. Didn't get much on it. And back is Rolin. Tried it from McGillney. McGillney puts it a rink wide. Kucherov gets over the line. And it's a souvenir.
Time a game like this now, Kurt, Rick Lee's got some gunners out there, and I think we'll start to see more of the McGillneys out there, get his skilled players out there. He's very patient about playing all 4 lines, but I think there comes a point in time where you've got to go to your gunners like McGillney and Linden and Ryan. You got to play them a little bit more than the Hunters and the Dowds. Even though those guys are giving you a good shift, at some point in time you have to go with your skilled players.
Dowd and Eastwood face off just inside the jet line. Now Shannon goes in against Dowd. Say, Jim, following tonight's game for the Jim Gauthier Big Easy Play of the Game, brought to you by the home of the Big Buy, Jim Gauthier, Chevrolet's Geo Cadillac. Here's Eastwood trying to chip it out. It goes to Walker. In behind the net, here's Dowd. Dowd tied up by Darren Shannon. It goes to Chassé. Chassé drives it into Vancouver zone. Eastwood makes a move, takes it behind. Eastwood wrap around. He fired it wide. Now it's taken by Babbage. Gets it ahead to Hunter at center. Over now to Walker trying to beat Muni. Walker for Dowd. Backhand. Rebound. They score. Tim Hunter. It's 4-3 Vancouver.
Well, this line of Hunter and Dowd have played very well tonight. You'll see big Tim Hunter go to the front of the net. McIver can't control Hunter, leaves him alone. And what happens, Shannon comes back. Hunter doesn't score a lot of goals, and when he does get one, it's an exciting time for him. But he's just too big and strong in front of the net. He gets a good bounce. It just sits there. Happy Boone's caught out of the net. He puts it in there. Watch the smile on his face. That's great to see a guy score a goal like that. It means a lot to a hockey club.
Nearing the 5-minute mark of the third, it's now 4-3 for Vancouver. Tibernowski puts it ahead to Kachuk. Kachuk dumps it in, goes after it. Doan goes to the net. Kachuk tried to beat Doan, cut off by Lume. Jelena tied up by Tibernowski, laid past Courtnall. Manson comes up. Pass for Kachuk. Lume gets it to Jelena. Trying to swing by Manson. There's going to be a penalty. Manson for tripping. Jelena shot. Rebound. Drake waits. And it's called. Canucks have a 1-goal lead. Now a power play. Dave Manson to the box.
Well, again, Martin Gellin, a good skater, keeps on going, keeps his legs going. You know, he almost fell before Manson got to him, making his own turn there. But a bad time for a penalty for Winnipeg Jets. Canucks got some momentum going. Now Winnipeg Jets have to kill off the penalty, even though Canucks have got a couple of goals in the power play tonight.
That was the second goal of the year for Tim Hunter. The assist to Dowd and Walker. Manson tripping at 5:28.
This is a killer instinct, Kurt, that the Canucks have to start to adapt if they want to go anywhere in the playoffs.
Well, here's Raleigh. Now lets it go. Blocked by Stapleton. Newman trying to clear. Can't get it by. Good play by Raleigh to hold it in. It's knocked behind the net. Tikkanen hit by Finlay. Linden. Check. Block grab by Finlay. Can't get it out. Newman will try. Slides it around for Stapleton. Stapleton dumps it out to center. Lume gets it over to Linden. Back it goes to Lume. A minute and a half left in the penalty to Dave Manson. 4-3. The Canucks lead. 6 minutes gone in the third period. Craig Muni goes back for Winnipeg. Can't clear. Tikkanen to the point. Lume. Raleigh. Linden's in front. To the corner. McGillney. Raleigh. McGillney. Raleigh. Lets it go. Here's Tikkanen. Can't work it. Newman chases it. Trying to feed Stapleton for a breakaway. Newman gets it again. And that dumps it in. 54 seconds left in the penalty to Manson. Lume drives it in. Drake goes for it. Pushed by Shellenop. McIver can't clear. Here's O'Coin. Lines it up and puts it into Courtnall. Back to O'Coin. In behind for Shellenop. Up by him. Muni has some room. And dumps it away. Drake takes a dive. O'Coin goes back. Jamnock trying to work it in front. Here's Shellenop. Puts it ahead. Running. Dropped it off. And with it is O'Coin. Gains the jet line. Gives to Shellenop. Back to O'Coin. His pass back now for Ronning. Puts it in deep. McIver. Jamnock. Drake. Manson's out of the penalty box. But goes to McIver. He works it in deep. McIver can't center. Kuchera against Drake. Jamnov there as well. Drake. Hit by O'Coin. And again. Drake perseveres. Comes up with it. Feeds it up. Manson's drive. Rebound. Jamnov. And the big save by McLean. First on the shot by Manson. Then the rebound try by Shabnov. So it remains 4-3 Canucks in the third.
When a puck is flying at you at 90 miles an hour, you've got to stay totally focused. I can't let hunger get in my way, so I grab a Snickers.
Packed with peanuts, milk chocolate, and caramel. Nothing stops your hunger like a Snickers.
Excuse me. Coming through.
When your stomach growls, wolf one down.
Have you heard the news? Everybody's talking about Crazy for You, the all-singing, all-dancing, all-Gershwin musical comedy you'd be crazy to miss. It's got romance, dancing, timeless Gershwin hits, and plenty of laughs. Winner of the 1992 Tony Awards for Best Musical, Best Choreography, and Best Costumes. You're guaranteed to go crazy for Crazy for You.
March 19th through 21st at the Walker Theater. For tickets, call 780-3333.
Here we see the two coaches up here, Kurt, Terry Simpson and Rick Lee, both of them under pressure. Like Terry Simpson knows his hockey club has got to make the playoffs, and Rick Lee, his club, has got to make a lot of pressure. Good break for the Vancouver Canucks there. Couture slides out to try to block the shot, and McLean keeps his eye on, makes a key save. It was a good shot right along the ice, and McLean makes a great save.
12 minutes left in the third period. 4-3. The Canucks lead the Jets. Babbage swaps it into the Jets zone. McIver and Muni collided. And a puck bounced through on Nikolai Hababula. Join CK&E Kids TV and celebrating the Jets Wives Carnival on Saturday afternoon at the Convention Center. Get an autograph from your favorite Jet and sign up to be a Kids TV kid. That's coming up on Saturday at the Convention Center. Dowd, Walker, and Hunter. The line that scored the go-ahead goal is out there again for Vancouver. Here's McIver. Behind to Fraser, to King. King puts it into the middle to Muni. Dumps it in. Stapleton busts in after it. King trying to kick it in front. McIver holds it at the point. Gets it to King. Tried it for Fraser. Intercepted by McLean. Stapleton battling. King joins in. 5 of them there. King puts it behind the net. Babbage to Hunter. Muni wrapped him up. King into the corner. Fraser has Stapleton in front, but he missed the puck. Now Babbage trying to work it in front. Stapleton kicks at it. Fraser sends it to the other corner. Hunter, King after him, runs into him. Here's Muni shot. Now McIver moves in front. Hit fired wide by King. The goal appeared to be wide open. Here's McIver. King trying to work through Lume. Dumped it out. King was flattened behind the play. He and Hunter have got something going. King and Hunter. Here they go. King. Now Hunter, no interest. King and Ojek went at it in the first period. Ojek got instigating and got the move. That time Tim Hunter said, no way, Jose. I'm a goal scorer now.
Well, 2 guys that like to play the body. There you'll see that Hunter slew-foots King. Hunter's ready to drop his gloves right there. It almost looked like there's something wrong with Hunter's right arm, or he's too tired. He's a long shift. But you'll see him throw punches with his right hand. He won't drop his glove as if something's wrong with his hand. But he doesn't want to fight. He might be too tired. But Chris King trying to get his team, give him some spark in that, get some punches in. And Tim Hunter, you won't see him do that too often, go down. I think Hunter was trying to draw the extra penalty, a little too tired at the end of his shift.
So this happens midway through the third period at the 9:27 mark, and the Canucks leading 4-3. But there has been some good action at either end, Ted. The Canucks had an opportunity, I suppose, 1 or 2 to spread that lead. And then McLean has made a couple of good saves, as he did off Manson on the rebound on Chamnov.
Yeah, it makes some good saves there. Vancouver, 4-3. They had the chance to put the Winnipeg Jets away with that power play, and they didn't do it. That's been the fault of the Canucks, not burying the team when they get the chance. Winnipeg Jets now get some more life.
Tim Hunter, 2 minutes for roughing, and Winnipeg's number 17, Chris King, 4 minutes for roughing. Time of the penalties, 9 minutes, 27 seconds.
So the additional minor goes to Chris King and the Jets. Hunter gets a roughing penalty, and King a double roughing penalty. So in a situation like that, Ricky Lee is happy with Tim Hunter, but you don't know if Tim Hunter is happy with Tim Hunter.
Oh, no, he's got a lot of pride about himself. He'll get his chance to get back at Chris King, but I think he was just too tired at the end. He knew that King was being the aggressor. As soon as King dropped his gloves, Timmy kept him on. Chris King gets the extra 2 minutes, gives the Vancouver Canucks a chance at a power play. So a good move on Timmy Hunter's part, but I think he'll get a chance to go back at Chris King some other games.
Jets had a glorious opportunity earlier. McIver from the blue line appeared as though he should shoot, elected to pass it instead across to Chris King, and he missed the net. So plenty of opportunities. Now the Jets are all over at their bench. The Canucks are ready and waiting.
There was an old saying, I played for Los Angeles and New York, and they traded me to both cities because I couldn't put the puck in the ocean. And that's what happened to Chris King there. He had the whole net.
Linden, McGillney, and Tikkanen up front on the power play for Vancouver. The Canucks lead it 4-3. Rawlene is back with Lume. Now Muni puts it ahead. Stapleton for Winnipeg dumps it in. Good shot. It goes to Rawlene. Kachuk is up front with Stapleton. Muni back with Manson for Winnipeg. Here's Alexander McGillney. He dumps it in. Ababulin puts it to the corner to Kachuk. McGillney bodies Kachuk, gets it to Linden, center, and Stapleton is there to clear it away. Here's Rawleen. Watched by Shemnov. Ahead to McGillney. Into the middle, Tikkanen dumps it into Jet territory. Ababulin puts it to the corner. Tikkanen in front. McGillney shot. And Ababulin, whose indecision actually created the chance, came to his own rescue.
Watch the glove on Abby Bolin. McGillney's a 47 goal scorer in the National Hockey League. He makes this mistake here trying to backhand the puck. He gets a little bump. He does get set. He faces the puck, and he's got, he's right in the middle of the net the whole time, so he's able to pick off that puck that McGillney shoots. But watch how he gets set. Right back to the middle of the net, stand up straight, follows McGillney across. McGillney sees that Abby Bolin's out of the net, lets it go a little quicker than he probably wants to. Abby Bolin makes a good save, though.
A minute and 10 seconds left in the penalty to Winnipeg. Eastwood wins the face-off. Newman wraps it around for Shemnov. Shemnov clears it out. Eastwood gives chase. Here's Eastwood, one man back, Rawleen, the shot. That goes wide. Now Newman puts it in. Tikkanen trying to drag it out. Does get it to Linden. Linden checked by Newman. Tried it for Shemnov. And now Lume, McGillney, Lume back to Rawleen. 42 seconds left in the Jet penalty. Just over 9 minutes left in the third period. Vancouver leads 4-3. Tikkanen deep back to the blue line between Lume and Rawleen. Now Rawleen gives to Tikkanen. Checked by Newman. To Drake. To Kachuk. And Lume goes back to pick it up. Gives it to Rawleen. 14 seconds in the Jet penalty. Drake takes it away. Gives to Kachuk. And it's offside.
Pete Kachuk throwing the stick at Ronnie. Now Lumi steps in there. Keith Kachuk has the ability to be the power forward, and I think it would help him so much more if he continued to play the body more and more. The angrier he gets out there, the more room he'll get. And when he plays passive, guys just kind of let him sleep out there. If he played the body a little bit more, if he played a little rougher, I think he'd get a lot more room to score goals. And he's lost that intensity that we first saw in his early years.
9 seconds left in the penalty to the Jets. 8:42 left in the third period. Shots on goal 30-30. The score 4-3 for Vancouver. Jets have lost 3 in a row. And this is the beginning of a 4-game homestand. The Chicago Blackhawks here on Friday night. Gives it to Manson. Manson dumps it in. Babbage goes back to get it. Olczyk steps out of the penalty box. Both clubs at full strength. Olczyk had been serving the additional one. Here's Tverdovsky to Olczyk. Olczyk survives a hit from Babbage. Gives it to Tverdovsky. Goes to the net. Tverdovsky dumps it there. McLean out of the goal. Dowd has it. Takes it away for the Canucks. Dumps it in deep. Tverdovsky goes back to get it. Trying to clear. Does get it to Shemnov. He gives it to Korolev. Gains the line. Korolev comes up with it again. Is hit by Sandlak, who clears it all the way down the ice. Finley goes back, and that'll be icing Vancouver. You're tuned to the Jets on CKND, Winnipeg TV.
With the glimmering brilliance and the astonishing clarity of fine crystal, Piaf stemware has been selected by our international buyers for its extraordinary design, sparkling cut, and exceptional value. Exclusively made by one of the finest glassmakers in France, a set of 10 could easily cost $59.50. But you can acquire this beautiful stemware at Domo. Each goblet is only 99 cents or less.
I don't know if they're teenagers or eating machines. They're still growing. They consume massive quantities of food. They don't stop. Those big guy dinners, just appetizers to them. But this new chunky chicken pot pie from KFC sure helps fill them up. It's got big chunks of chicken. I mean, there's actually chicken in every bite. It helps keep them going until the next feeding.
The delicious new chunky chicken pot pie from KFC. Try one now. They're only $3.99 for a limited time.
Keep in mind, we'll have the Molson 3 Stars selection after the game. Ted, you were noticing something about the Jet bench.
Well, when you're in a slump, you need some rah-rah, you need some spark. And just the Jets' bench, their eyes are just glassy looking, you know. They're not really in it. They just see Terry Simpson trying to get them pumped.
Off the draw, Lume behind the goal. Sends it around. It's poked out to center ice. Linden lends off a check. Now trying to go by Manson. Takes it deep. Linden continues. Manson takes him out of the play. Jelena trying to pick it up. Jelena and Kachuk battle for it. Kachuk wins that and dumps it out to center ice. Merzen, 7.5 left in the third. 4-3. Vancouver leads. Manson. Tverdovsky. Doan. Pass goes off. Courtnall down deep. Lume chased by Drake. Courtnall. It's in behind the net. Kachuk back to the point. Finley shot. That was blocked. Here's Courtnall. Newman in with an angle on him. Courtnall stops and dumps it in. Not a whole lot of offensive desire shown by Courtnall on that play. Now Courtnall dumps it back in. Finley goes back for it. Gives it to Newman. Newman's pass. That goes to Korolev to Olchek, who gains the line. Olchek puts it in front. Rolling sets it up the board. Here's Shamnov. Puts it deep. Olchek against Rolling. Now running with it. To Tikkanen. Tikkanen against Muni. Put it in deep. Korolev and Kucherov. It comes out in front. Newman. To Olchek. He tried it for Shamnov. Here's Shamnov against Raleigh. He shot just missed the far side. Kucherov. Check by Olchek. It goes in deep. Now it's sent back. Ronning with it. Ronning dumps it all the way down the ice. Going back is McIver. And that's icing.
See, McIver, power play specialist. You know, he's played pretty well with the Winnipeg Jets. They brought him over some offensive skills, and right now, you know, he's got 36 assists, which is pretty darn good. He's got 41 points, and he's been a kind of a leader on that power play, very steady back there, and he's one of those guys that's been with a lot of hockey clubs, gives you an honest effort, picks up your points, but just never stays with one team too long.
Stapleton comes out now, centering King and Fraser. Stapleton against Dowd. Dowd wins to draw to Babbage. It's put around and cleared away. And going back to get it is Muni. That'll be icing again against Vancouver. Canucks content now to try to preserve this one-goal lead.
You see the bench. Look at the eyes of some of the fellas there. There's just not a lot of emotion there right now. Looking out there, daydream a little bit, and that's what happens when you're in a slump. You start to wonder, can we do it? Who's got it? Because everybody's saying, come on, guys, somebody's got a goal out here. But nothing's really happened. Very quiet bench. Young guys don't know how to react. There's a little bit of yelling, but you know, who's it coming from? The guys just got to pick it up. They need some spark.
Face off to the right of McLean. 5:46 left. 4-3, the Canucks lead it. O'Coin dumped it out to center ice. With it there, Muni. McIver. Back to Muni. Ahead now for Fraser. Fraser trying to work through. Did manage to get the puck through, and McLean scooped that up.
Ricky Lee has to feel pretty good about the line he's throwing together tonight with Walker and Hunter and Dowd. I mean, they've given him an honest shift every time they've been out there. Hunter scored the leading goal so far. When you can get a bunch of guys like that who are just going to give you an honest day's effort, and you can use them every third shift, that's really a bonus right now in the National Hockey League.
Jets now send Eddie Olczyk back out. He's had a strong last couple of periods with Tkachuk and Stapleton. Olczyk against Linden. Olczyk wins it cleanly. Stapleton shot. Went off the body just wide. Now Courtnall ahead for Linden. His pass for Jelena, stopped by Tverdovsky, put into the Vancouver zone. Lume clears it out. Tkachuk, checked by Courtnall, dumped into Jet territory. Manson after it. Jelena moves in against him. Linden in front. Courtnall couldn't get it. Tverdovsky. Now here's Olczyk on the move at center, trying to go by Merzen. He's knocked down. Jelena behind the net. There's going to be a penalty with just under 5 minutes left.
Play Safeway Score and Win. With a Jet Score on CKND, you could win a set of quality appliances from Tefal, a 20-piece set of Mikasa fine china in the Currents pattern, a Gold Star Start Touch 2 VCR, or a Texas Instruments personal organizer. You could also win a trip for two to Mazatlan, Mexico, courtesy of Canadian Holidays, Canada's largest vacation company. Safeway's participating products, Nabob ground roasted coffee, and Hershey's Chip-Its. Score and win at Safeway, today's better way.
Over 60,000 businesses across Canada have Advantage 800 numbers. They generated sales of over $1 billion last year. Now just imagine if that system ever went down. Thankfully,
Gilbert Steel, Sales Division.
it won't. Advantage 800. Everything in business should be this reliable.
Well, the Winnipeg Jets with a glorious opportunity to tie this one up.
Look at Eddie Olczyk. He's trying to get it in, and Big Dane and Merzen just gives him an elbow smash. Floors Eddie. He takes a little roll, makes sure the referee sees it. But Eddie was putting the puck in deep. Now he's out there again. Eddie's got 13 power play goals right now, and he's the guy to look for out there. Tkachuk's got 15, but this is where the Jets' skilled players have to pull it out of the hat for the guys. They logged the ice time. This is a key power play. Skilled players got to come to the fore.
Jets are 2 for 4 on the night with a man advantage. Here's Newman. Olczyk. Newman. Tkachuk's in front. The shot. And McLean made the save. And McLean, not been as big as he was, he couldn't possibly have seen it. Tkachuk was right on top of him.
Well, the Winnipeg Jets have done a good job in the face-off. Here you see Eddie O again. Goes in the corner, but Zamnoff forces the Canuck to move the puck a little quicker than they wanted to. And the Jets take control of the puck, back to the point. Newman goes to the middle of the ice, which he should, and there's Tkachuk in front of the net. Lume gets a little piece of him.
Off the draw, Newman trying to hold it in. Jamnov, Linden fight for it. It goes back in deep. Here's Tkachuk. Tried it for Olczyk. Jelena can't clear. Jamnov with it. Olczyk's in front. Tkachuk takes the puck. Back, Newman gives back. Tkachuk shot. Save rebound. McIver goes for it now. Tried it for Tkachuk. Now McIver. Jelena swats at it. Does get it out. Newman with it. 1:18 left in the penalty. Just over 4 minutes left in the third period. Canucks lead by 1, and the Jets are offside.
Well, the Jets staying with this line of Tkachuk and Zamnoff and Olczyk. As I say, Terry Simpson's got to rely on these. The guys come through for you, and they just got to dig down and get some shots. The puck has been going back to the point pretty good for them, where they like to set it up from. Newman has been getting the shots, but they haven't been getting any rebounds, and when it does get through, McLean's there to make the save.
Jamnov, Olczyk, Tkachuk, Newman and McIver, the power play. 1:12 left in the man advantage. Canucks have Dowd and Courtnall with O'Coin and Kuchera. Now Nikolai Havabulin decides to give the power play a bit of a rest. They've been out on the ice a long time, so he comes up with an equipment problem. And they drop the puck anyway. Ababolan is still working on his equipment. Puck goes down into the jet zone. Kachuk for Zhemnov. Into the corner, Numanen. In behind the goal. Now Numanen starts up the middle. Gets towards center ice. Dumps it in. McLean lets it go to the corner. Zhemnov behind the net. Olczyk, Kachuk, Numanen lets it go. McLean saw that one all the way. McIver, Olczyk, Kachuk in the corner. Back for Numanen. Back down McIver. His shot partially blocked by Kortnall. Kachuk, Olczyk, McIver. His shot deflected by Olczyk. Olczyk puts it to the corner. Zhemnov. His pass went between the point then all the way down. Back to get it, McIver with 17 seconds in the man advantage. Just over 3 minutes in the third. Canucks lead it 4-3. Stapleton drives it in. It's out of play.
See the power play, Kurt. McIver is very good with the puck. He looks for the open man. He sees Eddie Olczyk in front of the net. Eddie's very good with his stick. Spreads his legs and deflects it through the legs, but a good pass by McIver. And then what we see is Samsonov did pick up the puck. He threw it back to Newman, and unfortunately, Tepel's a right-hand shot, or left-hand shot playing the right side. The pass went to the wrong side of the stick.
So 8 seconds left in the penalty to Merzen. 3 minutes and 1 second left in the third period. Vancouver on a goal by Tim Hunter, the only goal of this third period, leading the Jets 4-3. Jelena takes it back, trying to clear, stopped by Doan. Penalty is over. Doan works with it in the corner. Now puts it behind. Lume has it. Gets it to the blue line. Tverdovsky holds it in. Doan goes after Raleigh. Raleigh has the puck. Doan trying to fish it out. Eastwood does. Eastwood leaves it there. Now Raleigh can't clear. Doan and Eastwood doing a number. Here's Eastwood trying to feed it in front. And Merzen dumps it the distance. Manson with it now. Dumps it into the Vancouver zone. Taken in, and Eastwood go for it. Eastwood goes down on top of it. King now. Back to the point. Tverdovsky fakes it. What'll he do with it? Now he dumps it in. McLean to the corner. Drake. Tied up by Lume. 4 of them there. A minute 55 left. It goes to Merzen. Trying to wrap it out. Manson holds it in. Merzen swats at it. And this time the puck is cleared. Back forward is Manson. Both teams making changes. Manson watched by McGillney. Cuts in front. Gives to Tverdovsky. Drake. Tverdovsky. A minute and a half left. Manson. Drake. Gains the line. Drake lets it go. McLean grabs and holds on with 2 Jets at his doorstep. Zhemnov and Korolev.
Well, with a minute 24 to go, Kurt Ababolan will be thinking and looking at the Jets coaching staff to say, okay, when do you want me to come in? He'll get halfway up to the blue line, and Terry Simpson will tell him to come onto the bench, throw the extra man out there.
A minute 24. Zhemnov, Olczyk, McIver, Kachuk, and Numanen, the 5 attackers. Igor Korolev looks to be having a little chat with Simpson, so he may be the 6th when the time comes. Now Kachuk goes down to have a few words with Ababolan, and McLean gets a little work done. Friday night, Ted and I will be here along with Joe Pascucci. We hope you will be too. The Winnipeg Jets and Chicago Blackhawks on CKND.
Right now, Kurt, Chicago Blackhawks are kind of a sleeper club. Detroit's running away with their division, but Chicago's playing very, very well. They're getting some good mileage out of all their veterans. The goaltending's been very good. They have Chelios, who's been playing outstanding hockey and logging a lot of ice time, and they're quietly doing a nice job, and nobody's watching because everybody's so interested in Detroit. But Chicago's having a very good year right now.
Jets led this one 2-1 after 1. The score was tied 3-3 after 2. It's 4-3 Vancouver with 1:24 left. Olczyk and Linden face off to the left of McLean. Abelboulin is out between the hash marks. Good. The face-off is won by the Jets. Shamnov, McIver, Shamnov. It goes down Newman and behind the net. For Olczyk trying to slide it in front. McIver pinches. Shelena can't get it out. Kachuk hooked it in. Now Courtnall has it. Abelboulin is back in the net. Kachuk back for it. Here's Kachuk, takes his time. Now gives it to Newman. His pass goes on Olczyk all the way down the ice. Lume will get back for it. 55 seconds left. At center ice, McIver. For Newman. Newman sends it in, goes after it himself. Abelboulin is out of the goal. The sixth attacker comes out. It's Stapleton. Here's a pot shot. McIver blocks it. Shamnov at center. Gets it ahead. Olczyk tried to feed the pass. Courtnall interested in an empty net. Missed again. McIver for Stapleton. Stapleton takes it deep. Dumps it at the net. And McLean covers it up.
Wow, Kurt. Russ Courtnall, he'll be in the bad books there. He had 2 opportunities to rag the puck, hold on to it. He shot for the net inside his own blue line. He had enough time to take a couple steps. He had a wide open winger. And then a panic again at center ice. He just threw it away. He had enough time for a veteran player like him. He knew he could have held on to the puck for a while, looked for the teammate. Now the Winnipeg Jets still have 28 seconds, but the Vancouver Canucks should have been able to get the puck down into the Canucks zone.
Now Terry Simpson has called a timeout to map a little strategy. You know, against Pittsburgh, they had a timeout, mapped out their strategy. Eddie Olczyk won the faceoff cleanly to Newman. Newman fed it to Stapleton for the one-timer. He got the shot on, but Tom Barrasso made the save. And the Jets did tie a game earlier in the year in a situation like this when they used the same play to feed Timo Solani. The one time that was the game in which young Shane Doan scored the winner in overtime.
Well, the Winnipeg Jets need some spark. A goal late in a game like this would really help their confidence. They're just not playing. They played in the first period with a lot of emotion, then they slipped back in. Could they win? Are they going to win? Can we win? Do we have a chance? So 28 seconds, a goal right now would give them a huge lift.
Stapleton, Olczyk, Eastwood, Kachuk, Newman, and Shamnov. The 6 attackers.
Interesting enough, Kurt, I don't see Russ Courtnall out there right now for the Canucks.
What a surprise. Eastwood and Linden into the circle. Shamnov, the lone man back. But the face-off won by Linden. He dumps it all the way down the ice. Shamnov back into his zone. Stapleton dumps it in. Merson fumbles it momentarily, then dumped it to center. Newman in 12 seconds. Trying to mount one more offensive. Lead pass knocked down. Punch on McGillney, number 48. 5-3, the Canucks win.
Well, Alexander McGillney, couple of points. Vancouver Canucks 15-3-5 when he gets 2 or more points. But there was the presence of mind to hang on, get over center ice, just jump it slowly into the Jets' end, and they get the big goal.
Well, they scurry to the exits. As the Vancouver Canucks will come up with another road victory, their 14th of the year against only 10 losses. And the Jets, their 12th home ice defeat against 14 wins. Kirk McLean's return after a 19-game absence is a success.
Big win for Vancouver. Winnipeg Jets fought back to make it 3-all. Canucks with their skill players put it away 5-3. Big win for Kirk McLean also. Abby Bowen has to be disappointed. He did his job. They just don't get enough goals. But good return for Kirk McLean. I'm sure Vancouver's happy to have him back in the net.
So the final score, the Vancouver Canucks 5, the Winnipeg Jets 3. Stand by for the Molson 3-star selection.
What's the matter? Couldn't you sleep?
Did you think I wouldn't find out?
Is this about the ring I gave you? Listen, a cubic zirconia looks just like a real diamond. Is this about my time in prison?
You drank the last of the milk.
Hello again, I'm Kurt Kielbach. Down on the basement floor at Jim Gauthier, home of Manitoba's largest indoor used car selection. You'll find every make, every model, every shape, every selection. In fact, at any given time, 12 months a year, in excess of 50 vehicles, 50 used vehicles on the floor, the basement floor, here at Jim Gauthier, Chevrolet's Geo Cadillac, home of the big buy.
On McPhillips, north of Inkster.
If you're like me, you know the importance of contributing to your RSP. It's one of the most significant financial decisions any of us can make. And that's why you should consider investing with CI mutual funds. At CI, you can choose from a range of 20 Canadian and international funds. And you have the assurance that your RSP will be managed by some of the most respected money managers in the world. Your financial advisor knows CI mutual funds. All you have to do is ask.
Time now for the Molson Cup 3 stars from tonight's game. The 3rd star from the Vancouver Canucks. He scored the first goal of the game, his 13th. That was Jyrki Lumme. The 2nd star, Eddie Olczyk, with his 20th goal of the season for the Winnipeg Jets. And the number 1 star with a goal and an assist, the captain of the Vancouver Canucks, Trevor Linden. And there you see the overall Molson Cup standings. 5-3 the final score. And we'll be back to talk with the captain of the Vancouver Canucks after this.
Any air freshener can freshen a small room, but what about a large room?
Plug it in, plug it in.
New Glade plug-ins for large rooms warms 2 cartridges for large room freshness.
Plug it in, plug it in.
Plug into large room freshness from Glade.
Reveal the natural beauty of your wood with Pledge. Cleansing conditioners gently lift dirt and fingerprints so you see that beautiful shine. Pledge, let the natural beauty of your wood shine through.